Volvo cars are made to protect both people and our planet, with all electrified models ranging from mild hybrid to pure electric. Volvo Cars of Austin has the new car to meet your needs and lifestyle. Visit us online at volvoaustin.com.
Velocity Credit Union is proud to sponsor the Texas Stars and the HEB Center. Since 1947, we've been helping Austin and the surrounding communities with smarter financial services. With 6 convenient locations across Austin, including Cedar Park and Round Rock, we're here to deliver more value with free checking, better rates, and lower fees. Velocity is one of Texas' largest and strongest credit unions dedicated to meeting your needs today and well into the future. Experience exceptional service. Visit us at Velocity Credit Union.
Welcome back into the HEB Center at Cedar Park here in the pregame show as the Texas Stars meet the Chicago Wolves in Game 1 of the Central Division Semifinals. John Peterson here with you on FloHockey and TexasStars.com. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you are. It all begins tonight for these two teams in a best-of-5 division semifinal series for the right to advance to the division finals. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Texas Orthopedics. Remy Poirier starts for the Stars. He had a memorable season, to say the least. 27, 19, and 6 in 52 appearances, also setting the career franchise record for any Texas goaltender, now up to 70 career wins. He'll go up against Caden Primo, who also, like Poirier, played last year in the conference finals. He was with the Laval Rocket at the time, but Primo went 21, 11, and 7 with the Chicago Wolves in 39 games this season. The Stars will have on defense Vladislav Kolyachanik, back for the first time since March 31st when he suffered a lower body injury in San Jose. He returns to the lineup, joined by Michael Caro, and the forwards will be Jack Becker, Cole Lind, and Antonio Strangis to start the game. Chicago will have Yul Nystrom paired up tight with Cal Foote to open up the game, and the line of Skylar Brindamore with Josiah Slavin and Noel Gunler up front. The Stars scratches are Jeremy Poirier, Justin Ertl, Aram Manetian, Ayrton Martino, Sean Chisholm, Kyle McDonald, Chase Wheatcroft, Samu Tuamala, and Kyle Loft. The Wolves will scratch Ruslan Hajeev, Dominic Badinka. They are also without Yannick Turcotte, Giovanni Smith, Blake Biondi, David Gagnon, Evan Vierling, Juha Jaska, Bryce Montgomery, and Gleb Trikozov. Those are the starters and the scratches. We'll get to the drop of the puck right after this, as the Texas Stars and Chicago Wolves meet for just the second time in the team's history in the postseason, and the first time in 16 years. Game 1 of the Central Division Semifinals is next. You're watching the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
When you're at the HEB Center, 5-Star Event Services is there to secure and protect. Since 2000, we've provided security guards and event staff personnel for more than 40,000 sports entertainment events in Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Our security guards and event staff are trained and state licensed while encouraging a safe, friendly, and professional atmosphere for our guests, athletes, entertainers, and all. Our license number is B09954. For more information about 5-Star, visit 5starstaff.com. That's with the number 5.
What can you expect from Blue Corn Harvest Bar and Grill? A kitchen where everything is made from scratch with fresh farm-to-table ingredients. And we're chef-owned, which means our heart is here in every order. Our focus is on every plate. We're committed to continuing the legacy of Southwestern cuisine by using only best quality and traditional ingredients to make our tacos, enchiladas, crab stuffed chicken, blue corn crust crispy salmon, and so much more. Check out our menus online at bluecornharvest.com.
The moment is finally here. Sticks have been freshly taped, skates perfectly laced, and the ice is ready. Outside in the Texas heat, tumbleweeds float across wide open spaces that stretch for miles. Inside the chilly rink, the buildup is almost over. There's only one thing left to do: drop the puck.
Semenoff will saucer it across to Hughes, all alone through the legs. He scores! Lightning strikes twice. Cole Lind in on Copley to his forehand. He scores! Thompson in on the left wing, in the circle, cuts to the front, save, Poirier, and that's 2 points for Texas. In the circle here, Schlein, a shot, he scores! Artem Schlein ties it at 2. In on goal, he scores! Antonio Strangis, McKenzie tried to go across, they score! Captain Curtis has his 200. Semenoff fires, scores! It's a momentum-changing missile. And there's a shorthanded breakaway for Harrison Scott. He scores! Wide a W tonight because Texas looks like they'll have a date with Chicago in the division semifinals.
This is where the best and brightest prospects in Victory Green begin their journey. It's where future stars are born, where the path to the NHL begins, and where Southern hospitality takes on new meaning. This is Texas Stars Hockey, presented by Bud Light. It's game time, bringing you all of tonight's action. Here's the voice of the Texas Stars, John Peterson.
Welcome to the Calder Cup playoffs here in the Lone Star State for Game 1 of the Central Division semifinals between the Texas Stars and the Chicago Wolves. Here at the HEB Center at Cedar Park, my name is John Peterson. Thanks for watching on FloHockey. We are underway. Stars skating left to right in the first period in their green jerseys with white numbers, and the Wolves right to left in their white jerseys with yellow numbers. We're underway as Strongis will chase it into the Chicago zone. Cal Foote will wrap it around the boards. It's knocked down on the far wall. Jack Becker got a piece of the puck. It's chopped out by Skylar Brindamore, and it's carried through by Nystrom, who fires it in around the Texas net. A half a minute into game one. In behind the Stars' cage is Josiah Slavin. Quick shot by Brindamore. Goes off the side of Remy Poirier's cage. And now a try from the right point skips wide of the net as Lind is challenged by Ronan Seeley at the blue line. And it's kept in by Slavin, who tries to get around a stick check from Kolyachanik. Bouncing puck is pushed out towards center for Lind. And Lind will flip it into the Chicago zone about a minute into the contest. As these two teams played each other 8 times in the regular season. The Stars won 7 of the 8, but none of the games had a goal differential more than 2. And a couple of those 2-goal games had empty netters involved, so we had quite a few 1-goal games in this season series. The Stars won 7 of the 8. Here's Matthew Semenoff into the Chicago zone on the right wing into the circle. Semenoff looks out front, threw it off the side of the post to the glove side of Caden Primo. And in behind the net, a couple players aside dig for it here as Justin Robida will emerge with the puck. His dad, Stefan, played many seasons up in Dallas in his playing career. And Justin with the puck now in the slot, fires a shot, save Poirier, rebound, and it hops over the net. And in behind on a golden opportunity for Robida, the first one of the game for either side. The Plano, Texas native, back in his home state where he grew up while his dad was playing for Dallas. And he'll get his first line change. Both teams will continue the rotation. Second change of the game. 18 minutes to go, first period, no score. And we have an icing call here against Chicago, bringing the faceoff back down in front of Caden Primo. The referees tonight are Ben Betker and Bobby Joe Love. The linespeople are Brandon Grillo and Anthony Lapointe for this opening game of the series. It's just the second division semifinal series to get underway in this round. Cleveland and Syracuse have already played 2 games. That series tied 1-1. And everybody else will follow suit this week. But this is the only game of the night in the AHL. Chicago with the puck, carrying it out is Dominic Fensori. He turned it over at center ice to Christian Fitzgerald. Here comes Dylan Ritzkovian, left circle, a shot, and that flies wide of the net. Big bounce off the end boards, and Harrison Scott will gather it as he wraps it around the boards for Kolyachanik at the right point. He finds Christian Fitzgerald, the rookie out of Wisconsin, who joined Texas in the final week of the regular season. Played his first 2 pro games that final weekend against Rockford. Brought in by Harrison Scott, tries to split the defense, stood up by Juuso Välimäki. And the Wolves will get him some help as Nikita Pavlichev will clear it to center. First pro game for Charlie Serrato out there in number 13 for Chicago tonight. Their 4th line center, a rookie out of Penn State, who was a 2nd-round pick of Carolina in 2025. He has now taken his first pro shift in game 1 of this playoff series. Serrato will wrap it around his own net for Hamo Salami. Lexi Hamo Salami gets it out to center, knocked down by Cross Hannes. Tried to dump it back in, but it wound up in the Chicago bench. And we get a whistle with 17:02 left in the first period. No score. Just the one shot from Justin Robida, who grew up idolizing, among others, Max Fortunis, one of the Stars' assistant coaches when Max was a player in the Stars organization. And Robida spent a lot of time around the rink in the Lone Star State growing up. Ended up playing his junior hockey in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League and has had a couple good seasons so far for the Chicago Wolves. Was an all-star this year in Rockford, along with teammates Bradley Nadeau and Dominic Fensori. Face off to the right of Primo. 3 minutes gone here in game 1. Stars 4th line on their first shift, Ellis Rickwood centering Curtis McKenzie and Cross Hannes. These three were tremendous that final weekend of the regular season against Rockford. Rickwood, a rookie out of the University of North Dakota, 3 points in his first 2 pro games, including a multi-goal game in his professional debut on April 17th. Shot in around the Stars net, over to the far side, past Rickwood and out to center. McKenzie hustles after the puck. First to it is Hamo Salami, and this pass is broken up by Rickwood, and now a battle for it on the near side. Seeley checked by McKenzie. Caro tried to pinch, but Neuchev got it out to center. And it's gathered again by Tristan Bertucci, the Stars rookie defenseman. Good pass by Caro. Here's Stranges across to Becker, and a save by Primo. His first stop is a dandy on a golden opportunity from Jack Becker. 3 minutes and 31 seconds in, we get the whistle. But that started with Caro at the center red line, connecting with Stranges, and a good look from the fourth-year winger, Antonio Stranges. Becker was left uncontested, skating right down the slot, and couldn't quite get that puck over the glove of Primo. Both teams now with a scoring chance from between the face-off circles. Becker on the draw for Texas against Brindamore, whose dad, Rod, has the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs after a 4-game sweep of the Ottawa Senators. Of course, Carolina is also Chicago's NHL affiliate. They'll await their opponent in the next round. Likely tuning into this one. See some of the prospects in the Hurricanes system play their first playoff game of the year. Shot in by Nystrom, collected by Chris. Luke Chris, the Stars defenseman. He'll find Cole Lind. He'll send it across the ice for Stranges. Onto the stick of Trey Taylor. He'll chip it down into the Wolves zone. Primo comes out to play the puck. And it's sent right through the middle off the skate of Bradley Nadeau before it's knocked out to center by Jack Anderson. And here's Kolyachanik to Cameron Hughes. Stars leading scorer this year. Hughes will gather it down in the near corner. Fed it back up to the left wing side for Semenoff. Semenoff into the skates of Anderson, who kicks it onto his stick. Tripped up on the play. The puck goes into the slot, and then it's knocked wide of the net as Semenoff took a pounding there from Fensori. No penalty, and back come the Wolves on a 2-on-1 the other way, and it's broken up by Kolyachanik, diving on the ice. The pass comes through, and it's held in at the right point by Juuso Välimäki. Toward the net, Kolyachanik knocks that puck into the corner. Robida works it around the Stars cage. On the near side, Nadeau up to Fensori at the left point. He flings one wide of the net. And Cameron Hughes will settle it in the corner. Chips it up to the point and out. And it's regained by the Wolves at the center red line as it's thrown across the ice for Ryan Suzuki. Into the zone comes Fensori. Down low to Robida. Carves to the net. Denied by Poirier with a left pad save. Semenoff's got room to escape. Snapping it onto the stick of Fitzgerald. And Christian Fitzgerald will backhand it in around the Chicago cage. Here's Ronan Seeley. He'll work it up the right wing side. And it's carried through by Noel Gunler. Dumps it into the Texas zone. First to it's Michael Caro around the boards. Hamo Salami keeps the zone. Now Serrato in behind the Stars net out front. And that shot sent wide by Gunler, who led the Wolves in scoring in the season series against Texas. Goal scoring, I should say. Felix Unger-Sorum led the team in points. Here's a shot tipped wide on the second try after Poirier made the initial save. Good pressure by the Wolves' fourth line on their second shift of the game. Thrown into the Texas zone. Here's Caro. 14 minutes left in a fast-moving first period. No score. Just 3 total shots, but all high-danger chances. Brought in by Noah Philp. This shot's blocked by Caro. Back into the far corner, Unger-Sorum. To the near side, Michael Caro jams it out to center, and it's settled by Dominic Fensori. Fensori angles it off the glass. Caro catches up to the puck, throws it in around the Wolves net. Primo stops it cold in the trapezoid. Now he'll be forced to play it. And Välimäki took a huge hit by McKenzie in the corner as the puck comes back out to center. McKenzie had to get back on side. Välimäki over to Fensori. Up the far side it goes. Picked up by Noah Philp. He'll back it up into his own end. Fensori back through the middle. Philp tipped down into the Texas zone. Poirier will stop in the trapezoid. And here's Trey Taylor to Luke Chris up the right wing. Hannes got a piece of it. And it's gathered again by Brindamore. Fires it into the Texas zone, and Chris will settle the puck. The Wolves are in the midst of a change. 13 minutes left in the first period. Game 1 of the division semifinals here in the Central Division of the American Hockey League. It's Texas and Chicago. Glad to have you with us wherever you're tuning in tonight. No score thus far. We have an icing call here against Texas. That'll bring everybody back down in front of Remy Poirier. Poirier against the Wolves this year played 7 games of the 8-game season series. He went 6-1 with a 2.21 goals against average and a 92.5 save percentage. He played the last 9 games of the regular season for Texas, who was in a desperate push for the final bye into the division semifinal round, which they achieved on the last night of the regular season in a win over Rockford. Chicago had the 2 seed locked in for a couple of weeks at that point, and they ended the year 7 points ahead of Texas. But the Stars had one more win than the Wolves did in the regular season. The Wolves had the points advantage because of 9 more overtime losses or shootout losses than the Stars had in the regular season. Back down in the far corner of the Chicago zone. Knocked off the stick of Strangis, batted up to the line, held in Kolyachanik, throws one to the front, gloved by Primo in the butterfly. We had some action in the far corner between Nystrom and Lind that'll carry on past the whistle. And we'll see if either team gets a penalty here, but it is the playoffs, and that wasn't much. So I don't think either team will head to the penalty box on that scrum. They'll go back to their separate benches, and we'll have a timeout on the ice. No score here through the first 7.5 minutes of Game 1. We'll be right back. You're listening to Texas Stars Hockey. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Are Texas bugs bugging you? Let veteran-owned and operated Green Pest Guys win the war on bugs. Green Pest Guys uses only eco-friendly products such as essential oils inside, so you don't have to choose between the safety of family and pets or getting rid of those creepy crawlers. When you're ready to conquer those irritating insects, call Green Pest Guys at 512-456-0404 or visit us online at greenpestguys.com. And just remember, at Green Pest Guys, we never surrender.
Baylor Scott & White is the official healthcare sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like on the ice, every goal starts with making the first move. Whether you're lacing up for a new sport or making everyday moves towards better health, you've got what it takes. And when it comes to reaching your goals, big or small, Baylor Scott & White Health is with you all the way. Let's win this.
No score through the first 7 minutes and 34 seconds of Game 1, 12:26 to play. Texas and Chicago clashing for the 9th time this year. First game of a best-of-5 Central Division semifinal series. Teams that last played in the postseason in the division finals in 2010. And that year, a rookie by the name of Jamie Benn came down from Dallas for the playoffs and joined the Texas Stars after their inaugural season. And he helped Texas advance with a hat trick in Game 5 against Chicago at home and an overtime winner in Game 7 at Allstate Arena on the road to get the Stars to the conference finals. They ultimately made it all the way to the Calder Cup finals in 2010. Jamie Benn and the Dallas Stars are taking on Minnesota in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs first round tonight up in Dallas at American Airlines Center. And we'll have score updates along the way. Thrown out to center ice by the Wolves. They've got numbers through center, 3-on-2 at the top line. Nadeau across to Robida, back to Nadeau, save Poirier, and the rebound goes wide behind the net. Back to Robida, left circle. That pass tipped by Chris in the slot. Gathered again by the Chicago defense. Hamo Salome's shot tipped off of a Stars stick and over the top. That was Hughes who got a piece of it, and Semenoff angles it out of the zone. Always dangerous giving that top line an odd man rush, but the Stars dodge the bullet. And here comes Ronan Seeley right back in for Chicago. In behind the net's Noah Philp battling with Kolyachanik. Kolyachanik emerges up the left wing and out. Here is Christian Fitzgerald into the Chicago zone. Left circle, he fires up high, fought off by Primo, and the rebound scooped up by Neuchev. Followed out by Philp. He'll guide it into the Texas corner, far side as Caro's the first to the puck. Around the boards and out to center. And it's gathered again by Fensori with 11 minutes left in the first period. Valimaki will play that back into the Texas zone. Anderson now for Texas to the far corner. Unger Sorum waiting for it. Wrap back around Poirier's net. Near corner, quick shot by Neuchev off the shin pads of Caro, and that ricochets out. And Fensori will collect it again as he stops behind his net. 10:40 left, first period. Shots even at 3-3, and of those 6 combined shots near the first half of this first period, most of them very good scoring chances as well, and Remy Poirier and Caden Primo have had to be off to good starts for their teams. Two goalies who are battle tested from last year, making deep runs for their respective teams. Poirier with Texas and Primo with Laval last year, going all the way to the conference finals. Fensori up the left wing for Gunler. Stood up there as Rick Wood will bank it back out. Ewell Nystrom will find the puck and he'll play it across. In front of the Stars bench, it's turned back over, and here's McKenzie to cross Hannes, and broken up by the Wolves at their own blue line in front of the Chicago bench. A little bit of action in front of the Stars bench now as it's tipped out of play in the neutral zone, and we'll get a center ice face-off with 9:50 left in the first period. We'll be right back. It's the only game on the AHL slate here in the Calder Cup playoffs tonight, and we're glad to have you with us on the AHL and FloHockey social media pages if you're tuning in there or elsewhere around the world. We'll be right back. No score here in Game 1. You're listening to the Calder Cup playoffs.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before with AHL TV on FloHockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game live or on demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit FloHockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action.
Texas Stars fans, when hail and high winds hit Austin, who should you call? Malachi Roofing. For 2 decades, they've repaired, replaced, and protected roofs across Central Texas. Professional inspections, transparent service, and quality work you can count on. Visit MalachiRoofing.com today. Malachi Roofing, your roof, our responsibility.
Back inside the HEB Center at Cedar Park here in Central Texas for Game 1 of the division semis. Stars and the Chicago Wolves in a best of 5. First 2 games are here in this building. Saturday night Game 3 is in Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside Chicago. And if necessary, Game 4 would be Sunday afternoon with a quick turnaround from Game 3. If the series should go the distance, the Wolves would get the 3rd home game, and that would be a week from tonight at Allstate Arena next Tuesday. The winner of this series will get the winner of the other Central Division semifinal matchup between the number 1 seed Grand Rapids and the number 4 seed Manitoba, who disposed of Milwaukee in 3 games in that opening round series after losing Game 1. The Moose came back and won Game 2 and 3 to advance and get a matchup with the Griffins. Had a historic season up there in Grand Rapids. Cal Foot up the right wing comes Brindamore into the Texas zone. Round a poke check. He'll dump it down into the corner. Took a hard hit on the play after getting rid of that puck. Here's Jack Becker. Got that back out to center, but it's thrown into the Texas zone and forces Poirier to play it. Caro up the left wing for Strangis. Back through the middle, it's Lind. Crisscrossing with Becker. Cole Lind down into the far corner. Becker goes in after it. Strangis will hustle to help. Puck is swept around the boards and out, though, past the pinching Luke Chris. And Lind got back to help out Trey Taylor as the Stars regained possession quickly. Lind took a heavy open ice collision with Ryabkin, the 19-year-old rookie for the Chicago Wolves. His first game against Texas. Ivan Ryabkin joining the Wolves late in the season after playing most of the year in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Dumped back in around the Stars net. Poirier will feed it over to the far corner. It's thrown back around the net. And on the near side, it's pushed to the point by Suzuki. Here's Valimäki. Slap pass tipped into the equipment of Poirier by Robida, who's been all over the ice so far in this game. And Poirier will hold on to that one with 8:26 left in the first. Face-off will be to the right of Remy Poirier, but back to Robida for a second. Mentioned his dad, Stefan, with his Dallas Stars connection. He's on the Montreal Canadiens bench as the assistant coach right now with a Canadiens team that's locked in a pretty entertaining first-round series of their own in the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kind of going toe-to-toe with Dallas, Minnesota for the best opening round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Blocker side draw in front of Remy Poirier, 4th season in the Stars organization, drafted in the 6th round in 2020. And he now has the most career victories in Texas Stars history with 70. 27 this year. second winningest season in Stars history. Richard Bachman had 28 wins back in the 2010-11 campaign. Here's Dylan Ritzkovian. He'll lead it off the left wing boards and out. Followed up by Jack Anderson. Knocked down by Valley Mackey at the Wolves' blue line. Harrison Scott will snap it back to Anderson. He'll find Kolyachanik. Anderson again in front of the Stars bench. Harrison Scott, the rookie out of the University of Maine, flips one toward the net. Low shot glove by Primo. And he'll hold on to that puck with 7:56 left in the first. The Stars have quite a few rookies, but by comparison, they are the far more experienced team when it comes to playoff games. Stars have 418 total playoff games on the roster coming into this series. Chicago, by comparison, has 114. And 24 of those by their goaltender, Caden Primo. Next most is Noel Gunler, who has 12, and most of those were when he joined the Wolves for that 2022 Calder Cup run late in the season. Meanwhile, I mentioned Curtis McKenzie has 104 just by himself, 10 fewer than the entire Chicago Wolves roster. Poirier looks to his right as the battle continues up the wall. 7:35 left in this first period. Couple players aside, still fighting for that one. Rick Wood got a piece of it, but it's regained by Philp. Up top is Yul Nystrom. Now Unger Sorum. Back over to Nystrom again. Backs up on the blue line, tries a shot that's tipped over the Stars net. And Rick Wood will scoop it up for Texas as he'll work it across the ice for Hannes. Chops it ahead for Tristan Bertucci into the Chicago zone. He drags it to the top of the circle, had it poke check, but it's followed up. Quick shot stopped by Primo. Off the stick of Rick Wood, and Primo will keep that one, and the faceoff will be to his right. Stars love what they saw in the first two games from Ellis Rickwood since he joined the team that final week of the regular season. Earning a spot on the first playoff game. Not always an easy task when you join a new team coming out of the college ranks, not only to make a good first impression, but to get some ice time in the postseason right off the hop. And Rick Wood is signed to an AHL contract next year with the Texas Stars, finishing out this year on a tryout. Spent 3 years at Clarkson before transferring to North Dakota for his senior season, and he helped the Fighting Hawks reach the Frozen Four this year. Face off to the right of Caden Primo. Jack Becker on the draw, but he'll be chased. And it'll be Cole Lind who will take over. Going up against Brindamore. Shots are 5-4 Texas. No score so far with 7:06 left in the period. Stars win the draw, and Strangis' shot was blocked right off the hop. Slavin will free up the puck, and it's knocked out to center by Ryabkin. Jack Anderson in his own end tries to get it up the wall, turned over and then thrown over the top of the net by Ryabkin all the way around the boards and picked up by Seeley in front of his own bench. Chicago alternate captain banks it over to the near side. It's turned back ahead though by Kolyachanik and then helped back through by Ryabkin, but Anderson will find Strangis. Good touch pass to Becker, tries to duck around Ryabkin into the Chicago circle. Now pressured by a couple of Wolves in the far corner. Strangis will sweep it around the net. Lind hustles after it against Seeley in the near corner. Seeley floats it out towards center with help from Slavin. And Ryabkin took an open ice hit from Anderson after getting rid of that puck. As Kolyachanik will play it back across for Lind, and they don't connect. This will be icing on Texas with 6:15 left in the first. So the key pieces, if you will, from the regular season, not in the lineup for their respective teams. Texas really is without Artu Huru, who has done an excellent job up in Dallas and is winning a ton of faceoffs there for the Dallas Stars, not only in the regular season, but he's earned some playoff time as well. And Charles Alexis Legault, one of the steady defensemen on the Chicago Wolves roster, was just called up yesterday to the Carolina Hurricanes. Started the year in Carolina, then had an injury, and then finished out the year playing mostly with Chicago. Those are the big names missing from their respective lineups, but everybody else gotten healthy enough to play tonight. Here's a shot kicked out by Poirier, and the rebound's tied up for the moment. And now Anderson frees it up and finds Lind on the escape. Artem Schlane back to Lind again. His shot on the right wing's tipped out of play by Valley Mackey. And speaking of a player who's healthy and back in the lineup after missing 17 games to end the season with a lower body injury. Face-off will be in the Chicago zone when we come back. 5:56 left in the first period. No score here in Game 1. This is the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Subaru of Georgetown is a proud sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like the Stars bring passion, power, and performance to the ice, Subaru delivers safety, reliability, and adventure to every drive. Whether you're cheering on your Texas Stars at the rink or exploring the wide-open Texas outdoors, Subaru is built for wherever life takes you. Come see us at Subaru of Georgetown, where community drives forward, and every customer is part of our family. Subaru of Georgetown, proud to drive with the Texas Stars.
Ringo's Rascals Kids Club is back for the 2025-26 season, presented by Texas Children's Austin. Be one of the coolest kids in town, and you'll receive exclusive premium giveaway items, invitations to members-only events, and special ticket offers to Texas Stars home games. Plus, enjoy discounts on seat visits, Ringo appearances, merchandise, and more. To join the fun, sign up today at texasstars.com/Ringo.
Texas and Chicago back in the postseason again and crossing paths early this time around, but it's the 12th time the Stars have been in the Calder Cup playoffs, 5th consecutive year going back to 2022. For Chicago, their 16th playoff appearance. Both teams have hoisted the Calder Cup over the years. Stars won it back in 2014. The Wolves won it 3 times in 2002, 2008, and most recently 2022. Dumped in around the Stars net. First to the puck, Justin Robida. Valley Mackey at the left point. He'll knock it across the blue line. It's pushed out though by Taylor. Helped along by Hughes. Racing in is Semenoff, left circle. Puts on the brakes in the corner. Tried to get it back to the point. And it fooled Taylor, who's got to back it up, and the Stars have to get back on side. Chris will dump it back in. Around the Chicago net. Hughes chasing after it. It's thrown around the boards to the near side. Ryan Suzuki sweeps that to center. Harrison Scott regains possession for Texas. Onto the stick of Semenoff. Into the Chicago zone. They crisscross. Here's Scott. That shot's tipped and then pushed into the corner by Primo. Harrison Scott led the Stars with 5 goals against Chicago in the season series. He had a 2-goal game here at home against Chicago on April 3rd. And then scored the next night in the rematch. Scott's out there at the moment battling, and so is Christian Fitzgerald, throwing a check there on Valley Mackey. 4:48 left in this first period. The puck comes free, and it's backhanded out of the zone by Robida. Down into the Texas end with just enough speed to slow up and allow the Wolves to get a line change. Bertucci back the other way for Texas. Crosses the red line, fires it in, all the way around the net to the far corner. Here's Dylan Ritzkovian. And we have a hand pass called on Texas that'll bring the faceoff outside the zone. I think it went off the glove of Rickwood before reaching Ritzkovian. Dylan's older brother, Justin Ritzkovian, the reigning AHL Rookie of the Year from last season, is playing tonight as well for the Dallas Stars against the Minnesota Wild in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Both Ritzkovians went to Northeastern. Both played 3 college seasons before joining the Stars organization as undrafted college free agents. Dylan looking to carve out his own path after the tremendous success so far for Justin Ritzkovian, who earned a 2-year contract extension earlier this year with Dallas. Back in the Chicago zone, Cal Foote will gather the puck. Stanley Cup winner with the Tampa Bay Lightning earlier in his career. His dad, Adam Foote, won 2 Stanley Cups with the Colorado Avalanche. Back in comes Noah Philp, left circle. That shot's tipped over the net by Kolyachanik. Philp back to the point, swatted back in around the net. Now Jack Anderson under pressure from Victor Neuchev. Anderson stays with it. Philp comes over to help out Neuchev in the far corner. Neuchev emerges with the puck to the blue line. Nystrom, a shot, kick save Poirier. Rebound sat there though, as Foote will get it back on the give and go. He tries one off the blocker of Poirier and into the corner. Unger Sorum knocked off his stick, pushed out, and here's Hannes, 2-on-2 with Rickwood, who guides it down into the Wolves' end, and the Stars will get a line change. 3:25 left in the first period, no score. Shots are now 7-5 in favor of the visitors, the Chicago Wolves here in Game 1. Tip down into the Texas zone. Brindamore's the first to the puck. Around the Texas net. Scrapping with Luke Chris for that puck. It hops out front quickly. It went off the skate of Taylor, and Poirier was ready. He covers it up with his blocker along the side of the net and gets the whistle with 3:08 left in the first. And the face-off will be to the right of Remy. These two head coaches, their first Calder Cup run as the bench boss. Toby Peterson took over back on July 7th, the sixth head coach in franchise history, taking over for Neil Graham, who was promoted to Dallas, become the assistant coach on Glenn Gullickson's staff. As I mentioned in the pregame show, Toby Peterson won a Calder Cup as a player in his last playing season with Texas back in 2014, and then as an assistant coach with Lake Erie, now Cleveland, in 2016, 10 years ago. Spiros Anastas took over midway through the season in mid-December on an interim basis, but he had that interim tag lifted this past week. His first Calder Cup playoff run as a head coach. Here's Luke Chris, a shot tipped just wide of Primo's net on the redirect from Becker. Loose puck, Strongis tries to fire it on the bounce. Couldn't do so, but gets it right back. Circles the net, wrap around, and a save by Primo, who has it between the pads. The best chance on a flurry for Texas tonight. Becker and Strongis out there with Lynn, the line that started the night. Second line tonight for Texas. Antonio Strongis enters the playoffs with the longest active point streak coming out of the regular season for Texas. 4 games in a row to end the regular season. The goal and 4 assists in that span. And mentioned with Toby Peterson after the season finale against Rockford back on the 18th, if that's a player that is playing as confidently as he was at the end of the regular season, if he can do that in the postseason, that is another weapon that will really impact the Stars' chances to go far in the playoffs. Strongis missed the first series last year against Grand Rapids, coming back from that injury he suffered in March of last season, missed 9 weeks. But he joined Texas for Game 3 against Milwaukee in the division finals and played every game of the conference finals as well against Abbotsford. Played around the Chicago net to the far corner. Semenoff's line out there again with Hughes and Schlane. This top line was one of the best in the second half of the regular season. Hughes will wrap it in around the net again. Now Semenoff gathers it from Schlane. Up top it's Caro. Now Kolyachanik, center point. His shot flies into the glove of Primo. No rebound this time, and the face-off will stay in front of the .2:14 left in the first period, still no score. Shots are 8-7 now in favor of Texas as it's tipped down into the Stars zone. Michael Caro feeds it over to Kolyachanik, who angles it up the right wing for Scott. Tries to get in behind Valimaki, now cuts back, but lost it in the skates of the Finnish defenseman. Here's Christian Fitzgerald to the point. Kolyachanik back to Fitzgerald, fires one off the glove of Primo, who catches it off the bounce from the back wall and prevents any damage from being done. 1:50 left in this first period. Coming up in the intermission, we'll have a scoreboard update from the Stanley Cup playoff games going on tonight. This is the only Calder Cup playoff game, so we'll break down the brackets as well. Calder Cup playoffs been underway now for about a week, and the opening round series have all been completed. Now we're in the division semifinal round. We've gone from 32 teams down to 23 that made the playoffs, and now we're at 16 left for a shot at the Calder Cup. Jack Becker on the draw against Noah Philp, and the Wolves win that one as it's lifted out. Taylor knocks it down, hand pass the call on the Stars. Strongis was the next player to touch the puck. 1:44 showing on this first period clock. There will be a new champion this year, and there will be 2 new teams in the finals this year. as the defending champs Abbotsford did not qualify for the postseason this year. And the defending runners-up, the Eastern Conference champs, the Charlotte Checkers, were upset by the Springfield Thunderbirds in 3 games of their opening round series in the Atlantic Division. So, be an interesting race to the finish. In front of the benches, Strangis over to Lind. Strangis will bat it in around the Chicago net. Primo stops it behind his cage, reverses course. Amos Salome up the right wing, second-year defenseman out of Finland. Gets it to Gunler. And he'll fight with Strangis for that one. Strangis regains possession. Now Becker into the zone. Onside at the line. Down into the far corner. Amos Salome gets rid of it quickly, and it comes back out to center ice. Lind across to Becker. He'll motor in as he's checked at the half wall by Seeley. Good physical play by the alternate captain for the Wolves. Here's Lind into the slot though. Kolyachanik, backhander, goes just wide of the near post. And again, Primo plays it off the bounce at the side of his net and covers with 61 seconds left in the first period. Sure good to see number 18 in green back out there. What a wild ride it's been this year for Vladislav Kolyachanik, who has had a positive attitude most of the way as well, and that's not easy to do. The 24-year-old who was acquired in July from the Pittsburgh Penguins in that Matt Dumba trade, started the year in Texas as he didn't make Dallas's opening night roster, but he was called up fairly early in the season, played 11 games for the Dallas Stars. Then, as Dallas tried to send him back to Texas, was claimed off of waivers in mid-December by the Boston Bruins. Played 2 games for Boston, but was healthy scratched 14 games. And when Boston went to put him back on waivers, Dallas reclaimed him and sent him back to Texas January 21st. And he has finished out the season with the Texas Stars. But he suffered that lower body injury back on March 31st in San Jose, late in a game that was pretty much over at that point, and did not play the last several games of the season in April. But I don't think there's a player that has benefited more by the 10 days off between the end of the regular season and game 1 of this series than Vladislav Kolyachanik, who is cleared to go. And that is a veteran on the blue line at just 24 years of age that has played some meaningful hockey games in his career thus far. Matthew Semenoff will face off against Ryan Suzuki. Glove side face off in front of Primo. Semenoff wins it. Here's Kolyachanik. Pressured by Nadeau. Taken back by Foot. Up the right wing, Robida. And we have a penalty coming. It was a delayed reaction, but Michael Caro is going to get the first penalty of the series. It's a trip as he swept down Robida. And Chicago will get the first power play of game 1. Time of the penalty will be 19:20 of the first period. Carroll for tripping, and Chicago's power play will get the first opportunity. They were 24th in the league in the regular season at 16.9%. They went 6 for 23 in the season series against the Stars. That's 26.1%. And Felix Unger-Sorum led the way with 21 points on the power play, 6 goals and 15 assists. Bradley Nadeau had 7 goals and 10 assists on the power play. Ryan Suzuki was third on the team with 14 points. Stars penalty kill was 26th best in the league at 79.2% in the regular season. Face off to the right of Remy Poirier. This was really the one matchup that Chicago won out of that 8-game season series against Texas was special teams. The Stars won 7 of the 8 games. The Wolves were the better team on special teams in the season series. Unger-Sorum drops it back to Ryan Suzuki. Back down to the goal line for Felix Unger-Sorum. Here's Ryan Suzuki again. Now Valimaki. Suzuki, right circle, Unger-Sorum goes across. And this shot from Nadeau is turned aside by Poirier on the one-timer. Valimaki's try goes off the stick of Becker and out of play. And the clock stops with 12.1 seconds left in the first period. 1:33 left on the penalty time to Carroll. Bradley Nadeau has scored a lot of goals from that left wing circle in his 2 pro seasons. He's an all-star this year at just 20 years of age. Last year as a rookie was a 19-year-old. First-round pick by the Carolina Hurricanes. Face-off won by Texas. Kolyachanik gets it around the boards but not out. Held in by Unger-Sorum. 5 seconds left in the period. On the goal line, Robida across Valimaki. Shot goes into the equipment of Poirier at the horn with chaos in front. Bodies everywhere, but it never made it into the net and will stay scoreless after 1 here in Cedar Park The Wolves will carry over a minute 21 of their first power play with Michael Caro in the Stars penalty box when the second period begins. So shots on goal favored the home team, 10-7. The Texas Stars led in that category. Caden Primo with 10 saves, Remy Poirier with 7. I don't think that last one actually made it to Poirier. It was blocked first before the buzzer. And we will be scoreless after 20 here in Cedar Park and come back with our first intermission after this. It's the only game on the AHL's schedule tonight, and it's a free one for fans on social media on FloHockey. Texas and Chicago, game 1 of the division semis, 0-0 after 1. We'll come back with a scoreboard update. You're listening to Texas Stars Hockey.
Everyone deserves a little something to themselves. That's why we created new Pizza Hut Melts. Treat yourself to crispy, dippable melts stacked with flavor that's just for you. Because you can't spell melts without me. Trust me, we tried. Try it in 4 mouth-watering recipes, from pepperoni lovers to chicken bacon parmesan, meat lovers to buffalo chicken, each with their own sauce that you can double dip all you want. Because you're not sharing this thing. Pizza Hut is the preferred pizza of the Texas Stars. Order online now at pizzahut.com.
Step into style and comfort at the newly renovated Spring Hill Suites by Marriott Austin Cedar Park, where luxury meets laid-back Texas charm. Unwind in oversized suites, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater pool, or savor craft cocktails fireside at the SHS Bar and Firewall Lounge. Wake up to a complimentary gourmet breakfast, stroll our scenic walking trail, and admire local art at our stunning signature mural. Enjoy award-winning hospitality and earn points with Marriott Bonvoy. Book your stay today at Marriott.com.
At Austin Telco, you're not just a customer, you're a member. We offer our members several advantages, including free checking with no minimum balance and hundreds of free ATMs. Membership is easy and open to anyone in 6 counties around the Austin metro area, and with 24 branches, chances are there's one near you. Go online and see how easy it is to join Austin Telco today, proud partner of the Texas Stars.
Hi, I'm Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Sometimes at Andy's, we get to having so much fun that we forget to tell you why Andy's Frozen Custard tastes so good. Andy's Frozen Custard is America's finest frozen dessert. It's made from a recipe that originated in 1942. Andy's Frozen Custard is made fresh each and every hour. And if you insist on adding something to your Andy's Frozen Custard, you can be sure you're adding only the best. I want to make sure that Andy's Frozen Custard is the best frozen dessert your money can buy.
Andy's makes it fun to be a kid for a while.
This is Jack Becker, and you're listening to Texas Stars Hockey.
It's the Calder Cup playoffs on AHL TV on FloHockey and also on TexasStars.com. Welcome back into the HEB Center at Cedar Park, where the Texas Stars and the Chicago Wolves are scoreless after 1 here in Game 1 of this best-of-5 series. John Peterson here with you, and glad to have you with us. No scoring in the first period, no shortage of quality scoring chances. There weren't a high volume of shots on goal at first, but several tough ones to handle. Remy Poirier and Caden Primo were up to the task. The Wolves will carry over a minute 21 of their first power play into the second period on that Michael Caro tripping penalty when the second period begins. Let's take a look at the bracket for the rest of this division semifinal round in our scoreboard update, brought to you by Victory Plus, your home for Dallas Stars hockey and more. And we'll get to that Dallas Stars score in a second. The AHL's playoffs kind of look like this. The opening round is complete. In the Central Division, it was Manitoba and Milwaukee in a best-of-3 series. The Moose won 2-1 to advance. They get Grand Rapids in the division semis. The winner of that series gets the winner of this one between Texas and Chicago. In the Pacific, Ontario got the first round bye as the division champs in the regular season. Colorado swept San Diego in the 2-7 matchup. Colorado will play Henderson in the division semis. Silver Knights swept San Jose in that opening round series. And Coachella Valley came from behind as the 4 seed to beat Bakersfield in 3 games. The home team held serve in all 3, and the Firebirds advanced. They will play Ontario in the other Pacific Division semifinal. Out east in the Atlantic, the 3 seed was Charlotte. They were the heavy favorites against Springfield, and after winning Game 1 in a landslide, the Thunderbirds battled back to tie the series and win Game 3 in overtime. to advance. So the Thunderbirds will get the Providence Bruins, the regular season champs in the AHL, in a best-of-5 Atlantic Division semifinal series. It'll be the Battle of Pennsylvania between Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and Hershey in the other series, as the Hershey Bears swept the Bridgeport Islanders in their final games before they move to Hamilton next year. In the North Division, the best-of-3 opening round series saw Toronto beat Rochester in 3 games. The Marlies advanced to play Laval. The Laval Rocket were the #1 seed in the North. The other series has already begun. Syracuse and Cleveland are tied 1 game apiece after the first 2 in the North Division semifinals. That's how the AHL stacks up. Tomorrow's matchups, by the way, Game 1 between Laval and Toronto at Place Bell, and Game 1 between Ontario and Coachella Valley at Toyota Arena in Ontario. Texas and Chicago, of course, get back in action again on Thursday for Game 2 here in Cedar Park, and you can get your tickets at texasstars.com/tickets or the HEB Center Ticketmaster box office. In the NHL, I mentioned the Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild are playing Game 5 of their first-round series tonight as we speak at American Airlines Center in Dallas. That is a 1-1 game after 1. Miro Heiskanen has the Dallas Stars goal. That was at 8:58 on the power play from Jason Robertson and Matt Duchene. Minnesota opened the scoring at 3:51 by Matt Zuccarello, who makes his series debut after starting the series on the injured list. Kirill Kaprizov and Ryan Hartman, the 2 assists. So Dallas's goal tied it after Zuccarello opened the scoring. It was Heiskanen tying the score for the Stars. Minnesota will begin the second period with 9 seconds left on a power play. Boston and Buffalo are tied at 1 midway through the second period in Buffalo. The Sabres can close out that series with a win. They lead 3-1. And the late game tonight's Anaheim and Edmonton in Alberta. The Ducks lead the series 3-1. That's your scoreboard update here in our first intermission. No score between Texas and Chicago. We'll be right back. It's the AHL's Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
At the Klein Law Firm, we do things differently. We'll walk you through all of your options for pursuing your injury claim, even if that means not hiring us, because our priority is what's best for you. We believe every client deserves personal, consistent representation. Unlike large firms where your case may be passed from lawyer to lawyer, here you'll work with the same attorney from start to finish, the one you actually hired. The Klein Law Firm, putting the community first, one client at a time.
Picture this, Austin, your dream home becoming a reality. At Pacesetter Homes, we're not just builders, we're dream makers. Our mission is simple yet powerful, to craft the home you've always envisioned. Whether you're a first-time buyer stepping into homeownership or a savvy seeker of an upgrade, Pacesetter Homes has the perfect match for you. We're here to guide you through this exciting journey, ensuring that your home reflects your unique style and needs. With Pacesetter Homes, customization is key. From floor plans to finishes, we give you the canvas, you create the masterpiece. And we're committed to quality, delivering excellence in every nook and cranny. So why wait? Make your move and turn those dreams into bricks and beams. Visit PacesetterHomesTexas.com today, and let's make your dream home a reality. Pacesetter Homes, our goal, our passion, your home.
For the commute around town or a road trip across Texas, Volvo cars and SUVs have been thoughtfully crafted to elevate every journey with more comfort, more luxury, and more safety for everyone. Volvo cars are made to protect people and our planet, with all electrified models ranging from mild hybrid to pure electric. Volvo Cars of Austin has the new car to meet your needs and lifestyle. Visit us online at volvoaustin.com.
Smoky Denmark is proud to serve the official hot dog of the Texas Stars. Family owned and operated in Central Texas since 1964, Smoky Denmark's mission is to help people make memories around food. Our all-beef hot dogs are smoked with real hickory, guaranteed to make your first bite unforgettable. As a proud partner of the HEB Center, we hope you'll enjoy a delicious Smoky Denmark hot dog from your nearest concession stand. You can also find Smoky Denmark sausage at any Central Texas HEB.
Are Texas bugs bugging you? Let veteran-owned and operated Green Pest Guys win the war on bugs. Green Pest Guys uses only eco-friendly products such as essential oils inside, so you don't have to choose between the safety of family and pets or getting rid of those creepy crawlers. When you're ready to conquer those irritating insects, call Green Pest Guys at 512-456-0404 or visit us online at greenpestguys.com. And just remember, at Green Pest Guys, we never surrender.
When you're at HEB Center, 5-Star Event Services is there to secure and protect. Since 2000, we've provided security guards and event staff personnel for more than 40,000 sports entertainment events in Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Our security guards and event staff are trained and state licensed while encouraging a safe, friendly, and professional atmosphere for our guests, athletes, entertainers, and all. Our license number is B09954. For more information about 5-Star, visit 5starstaff.com. That's with the number 5.
Teach your kids how to manage their finances with Austin Telco's True Youth Debit Card, rated most respected credit union in Texas for youth accounts by cardrates.com. The card is designed to teach kids the importance of responsible debit card usage. With unique features like a daily spending limit and a cap on the number of transactions allowed per, you can trust that their money is safe. Visit atfcu.org to learn more. Austin Telco. True youth accounts, designed for kids, tools for parents, federally insured by NCUA.
Step into style and comfort at the newly renovated Spring Hill Suites by Marriott Austin Cedar Park, where luxury meets laid-back Texas charm. Unwind in oversized suites, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater pool, or savor craft cocktails fireside at the SHS Bar and Firewall Lounge. Wake up to a complimentary gourmet breakfast, stroll our scenic walking trail, and admire local art at our stunning signature mural. Enjoy award-winning hospitality and earn points with Marriott Bonvoy. Book your stay today at Marriott.com.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before with AHL TV on FloHockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game live or on demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit FloHockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action.
This is forward Cole Lind, and you're listening to Texas Stars Hockey.
No score after one here in Game 1 of the Central Division Semifinals in the AHL's Calder Cup playoffs. Welcome back in here on FloHockey to the first intermission. John Peterson here with you from the HEB Center at Cedar Park. A first period that only saw 6 combined shots in the first 7.5 minutes, but it felt like all 6 were grade A chances, or certainly quality scoring chances. And both Remy Poirier and Caden Primo were up to the task. The shots after one ended up being 10-7 in favor of Texas. But the Stars have their work cut out for them with the first penalty kill of the game, as Michael Carroll was sent to the box for tripping at 19:20. There's a minute 21 officially left on that penalty time when the second period begins. A Stars penalty kill that had its ups and downs, certainly during the regular season, but against Chicago in this matchup, an area that the Wolves succeeded, even though they only won one of the 8 games in the regular season series. They had a 26% power play in the season series, and they can be dangerous with that top unit on the ice. And speaking of that top unit, the Wolves didn't have 3 of those players late in the season when these teams met in April here in Cedar Park. Juuso Välimäki was out with an injury. He missed 17 games. Justin Robida missed a handful of games late in the regular season. Bradley Nadeau did as well with various injuries. Chicago is relatively healthy in the sense that all 3 players were cleared to play for the playoffs, which was great news for Chicago Wolves fans to get those 3 back in the lineup, and they will be pivotal to Chicago's success to make a run in these playoffs. That top line of Nadeau, Robida, and Suzuki was about as good as any in the first half of the season and really most of the way through the season. Robida and Nadeau were both all-stars, and last season Suzuki was an all-star. The Stars matched, though, the top line success with success of their own the second half of the year, with Cameron Hughes, Artem Schlane, and Matthew Semenoff building chemistry almost immediately and carrying that through the second half of the year. A big reason the Stars had their turnaround into that final push for the playoffs. And both coaches deserve a ton of credit as well, and their staffs, because Chicago really was in a good position for one of the top 2 seeds most of the way through. Not necessarily wire to wire, but most of the year Chicago was in second behind Grand Rapids, and quite honestly, nobody was catching Grand Rapids, as we all saw what that team did in the regular season. But Texas started off the year 0-5-1. They were 2-8-2 on home ice to start the year before the holiday break, and then caught fire in the second half. And first-year head coach Toby Peterson led this team to a finish that was 22-10-2 since January 18th, when they beat Ontario and they went on a 7-game winning streak. They were one of the hottest teams the second half of the year, and that turnaround was really impressive to see, because there weren't a lot of personnel changes in that time frame. It was simply something clicked, and the Stars started finding new ways to win games. Spiros Anastas, the first-year head coach of Chicago, deserves a lot of credit as well, because he took over December 12th when Carolina made a change at that head coaching position in Chicago. Cam Abbott was let go. Anastas was an assistant coach to start the year, took over as the interim head coach, and then when he took the reins, went 25-14, 5-6. And this past week, in the build-up to this playoff series, got that interim tag removed and now is officially the head coach for the foreseeable future for the Chicago Wolves. We'll be back with the start of the second period right after this. No score after one in Game 1 of the Central Division Semifinals on FloHockey.
Austin, get ready to fall in love with hot toasted perfection. Snarf sandwiches. Their made-to-order subs are stacked high with premium ingredients on Snarf's signature bread. Add a little kick with their special blend of hot peppers. Fan favorites include the Italian, meatball parm, barbecue smoked brisket, and pastrami and Swiss. Vegetarian and gluten-free options are available along with a full catering menu. With 5 Austin locations, it's easier than ever to get your hands on the bold flavors fans rave about. Visit eatsnarfs.com for the location nearest you.
Texas Stars fans, every home deserves a strong defense. That's why Malachi Roofing has been Austin's go-to team for roofing repairs, replacements, and maintenance. Honest, dependable, and always ready to protect what matters most. Call Malachi Roofing for an inspection today. Malachi Roofing, Texas strong, storm ready.
Velocity Credit Union is proud to sponsor the Texas Stars and the HEB Center. Since 1947, we've been helping Austin and the surrounding communities with smarter financial services. With 6 convenient locations across Austin, including Cedar Park and Round Rock, we're here to deliver more value with free checking, better rates, and lower fees. Velocity is one of Texas' largest and strongest credit unions, dedicated to meeting your needs today and well into the future. Experience exceptional service. Visit us at Velocity Credit Union.
Baylor Scott & White is the official healthcare sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like on the ice, every goal starts with making the first move. Whether you're lacing up for a new sport or making everyday moves towards better health, you've got what it takes. And when it comes to reaching your goals, big or small, Baylor Scott & White Health is with you all the way. Let's win this.
This is Cameron Hughes, and you're listening to Texas Stars Hockey.
No score after 20 minutes here in Game 1 of the division semis. Texas and Chicago combined for 17 shots in that first period. Stars had 10, Wolves had 7. Nothing to show for it, but Chicago will start the second period on the power play for 1:21. That's what's left of Michael Caro's tripping penalty. Taking a look at this matchup from the regular season, the biggest difference for Chicago when they were successful was special teams, and they had a power play percentage of 26% against Texas in the regular season, which was about 10 percentage points higher than their overall power play at 16% in the regular season. So that was where they found that success against Texas. 5-on-5, the Stars really controlled the play in the 8-game season series, but they'll have to begin the second period of Game 1 shorthanded with Caro in the Stars penalty box. And it's worth mentioning as well, Michael Caro, probably the most reliable and consistent penalty killer the Stars have. He logs a ton of ice time on the PK, but is obviously not available at the moment. We're underway here in the second period. Here in Cedar Park, Stars skating right to left as you follow along. Wolves left to right. Wolves in their white, Stars in their green. 1:10 now left on the penalty time as Unger Sorum gains the Stars blue line. Works it in around Poirier's net. Far side, it's Bradley Nadeau. Up top to Valimaki. Now Unger Sorum. Right back to Valimaki, center point. Left corner again, Nadeau. Bradley Nadeau tried to feed it out front. It was tipped off a Stars stick. Foot race won by Unger Sorum. He gave it away, though. Good read by Luke Chris, and he'll escape, floating it to the Chicago blue line, but it's played back ahead, and then it's tipped up into the equipment of Suzuki and carried through by Robida. Back across, but that went under the stick of Välimäki, and the Stars got the clear. It was Artem Schlein who helped it out of the zone. Now down to a half a minute left on the penalty time to Carroll. Robida right back in for Chicago. Unger Sorum on the right wing wall. Has 2 Stars on him. Robida will wrap it around the net. Far side, Nadeau. Back behind the cage, Luke Chris intercepts, flings it around the glass and all the way down the ice. Good start for Texas on the penalty kill. Down to just 10 seconds before they get their veteran defenseman back. 18:45 to go, period 2, still no score. Chicago skates it out to center ice, across to Noah Philp into the Texas zone. He'll put the brakes on the right wing wall. Gunler keeps the zone. Carroll out of the sin bin. Stars at full strength. Near corner of the Texas end. Taylor pushes it free to Hannes. He fanned on the clear, though, as Gunler kept it in. High slot, Brindamore fires up high over the net into the glass. Stays in play. Gunler back down low to Philp. Philp stick handles behind the net. Played it out front, but couldn't connect on that pass. Wide open was Gunler, and it skips back into the Texas zone as Fensori will gather it. 18:10 to play, second period, no score. Chicago 0 for 1 on the power play. Jack Anderson back behind his net. Near corner, it's Taylor. Up the wall for Hannes. Plays it out past foot. In behind the defense was McKenzie. Tried to set up Rick Wood, but Nystrom got a piece of the puck, and it goes in behind the net instead. Cal Foot up the left wing side, angles it out to center. Tip to the Texas blue line, followed up offside by Nystrom as Philp was ahead of the play. And things are whistled down with 17:47 left in the second period. Scoreless first period, scoreless first couple minutes of the second, with the Stars completing that penalty kill. The advantage on those carryover power plays for the team killing off the penalty too is you have a little bit more time to reset, discuss things. I guess both teams have that opportunity. For Chicago, if they saw anything in the first 40 seconds of the power play they wanted to expose, but fresh sheet of ice sometimes too is harder to get things going on those power plays that do carry over. The Stars did their job. Two teams that were not very penalized during the regular season. In fact, the Stars were the least penalized team in the AHL in the regular season. Here's Christian Fitzgerald behind the defense, shoots, and a save by Primo. Juicy rebound, a shot by Carroll, fought off by Primo a second time. 2 more good looks for Texas. The rookie Fitzgerald followed up by the veteran defenseman Carroll. Back in behind the Stars net. Good pressure by Chicago as it's thrown across the Stars zone. Ronan Seeley at the left point. Back down low, it's Ryabkin. That pass knocked away by Bertucci. Followed up, here's Seeley stepping up from the blue line, leading it back to the point. Thrown towards the front, it deflected just wide on the backhand. Ryabkin in behind the net. Dylan Ritzkovian comes away with the puck. The rookie forward up the right wing will skip it out, past Seeley, down into the Wolves zone, and the Stars will change all 5. Amos Salome reverses that puck for Seeley through the middle, and it hopped off the stick that time of Nadeau, and then the clearing attempt from Anderson blocked down by Suzuki, who keeps it in. Nadeau out front, intercepted by Lynn, but his pass was too far for Strangis, and it'll be an icing whistle against the Stars. Texas had just changed, so relatively fresh, and the first shift of the second period for this second line that started the game tonight for Texas. Jack Becker centering Lind and Strangis. All 3 players played a ton of hockey this year. Lind only missed 2 games, including the season finale. Strangis only missed 2 games in November. And Jack Becker only missed 1 this season. Becker has played all but 3 games the last 2 years, his first 2 full AHL seasons. Face off to the right of Poirier. Harrison Scott on the draw against Brindamore. And Brindamore wins this back to Välimäki. Wrist shot up high, goes over the net from Fensori. And on the near wall, Kolyachanik knocks it out to center for Strangis, who gets it back from Lynn. This time Strangis got a piece of the puck to negate the icing, and Primo will play it behind his net. Anderson steps up to pinch, but it's swatted out of the zone by Brindamore. Now Becker and Slavin battle for it in front of the penalty boxes. Välimäki will go D to D for Fensori. He'll lead it up the left wing, but this goes all the way down. It'll be a Wolves icing. 16 minutes showing on the second period clock, and the Stars will get An attacking zone face-off, and out comes their top unit. Artem Schlane led the Stars rookies this year with 38 points and 19 goals. Matthew Seminoff had his first 50-point season after putting up just 24 total points his first 2 years as a pro. A true breakout season for Seminoff. And then, of course, we all know what Cameron Hughes did this year. 68 points in 65 games, a new career high, including 51 assists, among the best in the league. Was an AHL All-Star and named to the second-team All-AHL All-Star squad at season's end, and earned a NHL call-up late in the year. 3 games with Dallas, his first NHL stint in almost 5 years. Scored his first NHL goal against Minnesota in April, did Hughes. Up to the point, Taylor keeps it in. Hughes wraps it in around the net. Schlane catches up to the puck in the far corner, tries to keep the cycle alive. Batted back around the boards to the near side. Taylor steps up from the blue line. And now Chicago's got an escape route. Carried out by Brindamore, who guides it into the Texas corner. And Luke Chris will gather the puck for Texas. 15:20 to go in the second period. No score. Here's Cameron Hughes knifing back through center. Into the Chicago zone. Sends a wrist shot wide of the net. Around the boards to Chris at the half wall on the right wing. And this puck deflects up into the protective netting, out of play. Faceoff coming up with 15:12 left in the second period. The playoff experience goes beyond Curtis McKenzie's 104 games, though, for Texas. Cameron Hughes and Cole Lind have both made some deep runs 3 straight years in the Calder Cup playoffs. Hughes has played 62 games. Lind has played 58. They were teammates in Coachella Valley on 2 consecutive Western Conference championship teams. And then last year led the Texas Stars to the conference finals in their first year in Cedar Park. They've played more hockey than anybody else in the AHL regular season and playoffs since the beginning of the 22-23 season, have Lind and Hughes. Michael Caro at the right point. Sweeps it in behind the Chicago net. Strangis on the left wing. Back down to the corner again. Here's Becker. Lind to the far corner. Coming in from the points. Caro ducks around a check. Stays with the puck. Stops behind the net. Spins back toward that far corner. Works it up toward the point for Strangis, who kept it in but couldn't get the pass to connect with Bertucci. And Robida will angle it out. Caro backing it up into his own zone away from Nadeau. Leads it up the left wing for Becker. Becker finds Lind with lots of room through the middle of the ice. High slot into the offensive zone. Reverses it quickly to Caro. Now Bertucci, a shot save. Rebound, hop past Strangis, who was tied up in the left circle. Strangis back to the blue line. Here's Caro. Down Bertucci, a backhander off a body as it was blocked by Suzuki. Kept in by Caro. Works it in around the net. Here's Lind again. Right circle. In the slot, Strangis, and a glove save by Primo with 14:16 left in the second. But it feels like a matter of time for that second line for the Stars. They have had some great shifts so far in this game. Another one there. Stars will bring on the fourth line of Rickwood, McKenzie, and Hannes. It's the Calder Cup playoff debut for Cross Hannes, the native Texan. He wasn't able to get into a playoff game in his first 3 seasons with the Grand Rapids Griffins when he was a Detroit Red Wings prospect. And has had a career year for Texas, more than doubling his previous career highs. Brought in by Noah Philp into the Texas zone. Down into the corner, Anderson back up the wall, picked off, and here's Neuchev. Mid-season acquisition from the Buffalo Sabres organization. Victor Neuchev, part of the Gavin Bayreuther trade. Of course, Bayreuther, the former Stars defenseman, going the other way to join Rochester ultimately. Hamos Salami backing it up. He'll collect the puck and stops behind his net. Alexei Hamos Salami will find Ronan Seeley on the right wing. Up the wing into the skates, though, of Philp, and this puck is lobbed out of play by Neuchev, and the faceoff will come outside the Texas zone with 13:29 to go in this second period. Still in search of the first goal of this series. Game 1 in Cedar Park between the Stars and the Wolves. We'll be right back. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
What can you expect from Blue Corn Harvest Bar and Grill? A kitchen where everything is made from scratch with fresh farm-to-table ingredients, and we're chef-owned, which means our heart is here in every order. Our focus is on every plate. We're committed to continuing the legacy of Southwestern cuisine by using only best quality and traditional ingredients to make our tacos, enchiladas, crab-stuffed chicken, blue corn crust crispy salmon, and so much more. Check out our menus online at bluecornharvest.com.
Subaru of Georgetown is a proud sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like the Stars bring passion, power, and performance to the ice, Subaru delivers safety, reliability, and adventure to every drive. Whether you're cheering on your Texas Stars at the rink or exploring the wide-open Texas outdoors, Subaru is built for wherever life takes you. Come see us at Subaru of Georgetown, where community drives forward, and every customer is part of our family. Subaru of Georgetown, proud to drive with the Texas Stars.
Well, it's not very often you have an exciting hockey night like tonight all across the Lone Star State. The Texas Stars and the Dallas Stars both in action simultaneously in the playoffs. Dallas in Game 5 of their series against Minnesota. Texas opening up their Calder Cup playoff run against Chicago in Game 1 here in Cedar Park. Dallas and Minnesota tied at 1 early in the second period at American Airlines Center in a series that's tied 2-2. But last year, for the first time in franchise history, both Dallas and Texas advanced to the conference finals in their respective leagues. And Alex Petrovic became the first player to play in the conference finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs and Calder Cup playoffs the same year, as he joined Texas following Dallas's elimination when Edmonton moved on to the Stanley Cup final. 13 minutes and change left in the second period. Texas and Chicago in search of the first goal still. Puck in the Stars zone. Christian Fitzgerald stood up by Fensori. Fitzgerald backs it up, reverses it. Past the reach though of Luke Chris. Here's Noel Gunler saucering it up to Fensori at the right point. His shot's deflected wide in behind. Loose puck at the side of the net, dug out of there by Harrison Scott, who chips it off the glass. Gloved by Fensori. He'll throw a wrister to the net, knocked down by Chris. And he'll spin it back up the left wing, but Valimacky got a stick on it. Deflected out to center instead. And Suzuki will fire it back in. Both teams in the middle of a line change. Luke Chris in his second full season with the Stars. Pretty good rookie year last year, then had an off-season injury that forced him to miss the first half of this season. Played every game since, 40 games to end the year for Chris after missing the first 32. Here comes Robida into the Texas zone on the left wing. Leaves it for Suzuki. That pass deflected and picked off by Semenov. Just over 12 minutes left in the second period. Semenov will dump it in around Primo's net. Hughes on the near side. Lobbed high in the air and out by Suzuki. And it's gathered again by Kolyachanik. He'll angle it up the left wing. Too far for Schlane. Nystrom will go back across the seam to Robida, who led the Wolves with 3 shots on goal in the opening period. Anderson to the near side. Hamo Salome tries to pinch, tied up by Hughes. Here comes Schlane with Semenov. Schlane left circle, shoots, and a glove save by Primo. No rebound, and then some action afterwards. Semenov sandwiched by a couple of Wolves along the end boards. So the Stars will have an offensive zone face-off from the looks of it. 11:39 left in the second. Artem Schlane kept that wrist shot low on the ice. Gloved by Caden Primo. Schlane had 19 goals this year for Texas. He did not play in any of the Stars' 14 Calder Cup playoff games last year. He joined the team late in the season after finishing up at Arizona State. And so this is his Calder Cup playoff debut. He did play 3 games for ASU last year in the NCHC Conference Tournament. And he fared well enough to be named to the all-tournament team for the Sun Devils, who just missed making the NCAA tournament. Schlane signed an AHL standard contract with the Texas Stars for this year. I have to think he's in consideration for an NHL two-way going forward with the year he's put together for the Stars. Bertucci over to the far side, off of a skate. On the half wall, the shot's blocked. Bounced high in the air and back to the center ice logo. Amos Solomit gave it away to Caro, who sets up Becker back into the Chicago zone in the corner. Becker had help from Lynn, but Seeley got a piece of the puck. Brindamore to the far side, and it's lifted back out as it hops into the Texas end. Slavin on the chase. Caro got there first, and there's an icing whistle on the Wolves. 11:01 left in the second period. Pretty cool moment late in the regular season for Josiah Slavin, who has played a handful of NHL games earlier in his career when he was a Chicago Blackhawks prospect. But now with the Hurricanes organization, the Chicago Wolves captain was called up late in the year, along with several other Chicago players, to get a couple of NHL games with the Hurricanes. And Josiah Slavin's brother Jacob is on the Hurricanes roster and a gold medalist this past Olympics with Team USA. They got to play together in the National Hockey League, a couple of games with the Hurricanes, and well-respected hockey family, and had quite a bit of success this year, of course, with Jacob's gold medal in Team USA. Josiah leading Chicago back to the playoffs for the second year in a row as the captain in the AHL. They'll play it in around the Stars net. Luke Chris will clear it up the bench's side, and then it's tapped across the ice. Curtis McKenzie throws a check there on Valley Mackey. Off the skate of Rick Wood into the left circle. McKenzie barrels into another Wolves player. Here's Hannes, a shot save. Rebound knocked out of there by the Wolves defense, away from Primo's crease. Phil back ahead. Here's Neuchev into the Star zone. Neuchev spins in the right wing corner. Tied up there, shrugged off Trey Taylor's pressure. And now Chris will look for some room to escape as he'll slide it back over to Taylor. Nearing the halfway point of the hockey game with no score so far here in Cedar Park. Curtis McKenzie has thrown his weight around here in game one. No surprise there. He lives for playoff hockey. His 10th go around with the Texas Stars in the Calder Cup playoffs. 11th of his career. Of course, he led Chicago to the finals in 2019. The year after leading Texas as the captain of the Stars to the finals in 2018. Here's Yul Nystrom back into the Texas zone, picking off a cross-ice pass, dragging it into the slot, firing up high over the Stars net. And it's played back down low by Serrano. Now Gunler fighting for it. It's tipped back to the point. Cal Foot along the right wing boards, shot it wide of the net. Up to the blue line, Nystrom keeps the zone. Angles it back down low again. Here's Gunler. Shoved by Anderson. Picked up by Nikita Pavlichev. Pavlichev in the far corner. Back out front to Serrano. And it's intercepted by the Stars. And racing ahead's Dylan Ritzkovian with lots of speed. Right circle. That shot's tipped out of play. Nice job by Nystrom to get back into the play and get a piece of that Ritzkovian shot. 9:07 remaining, second period. Stars with a 16-7 shots advantage, 6-0 in this second period in shots on goal. But 0-0 here in Cedar Park. This is the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Hi, I'm Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Sometimes at Andy's, we get to having so much fun that we forget to tell you why Andy's Frozen Custard tastes so good. Andy's Frozen Custard is America's finest frozen dessert. It's made from a recipe that originated in 1942. Andy's Frozen Custard is made fresh each and every hour. And if you insist on adding something to your Andy's Frozen Custard, you can be sure you're adding only the best. I want to make sure that Andy's Frozen Custard is the best frozen dessert your money can buy.
Andy's makes it fun to be a kid for a while.
We interrupt this call to bring you a special message. The Big New Yorker's back. Say hello to 6 extra large slices big enough to hold more cheese on a crispy, fluffy crust that you gotta fold it just to eat. I mean, you don't have to fold it, just a suggestion. Pizza Hut is the preferred pizza of the Texas Stars. Order online now at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut. Texas and Chicago still in search of the opening goal of this Central Division semifinal series. 9:07 to go in the second period. Stars with a 16-7 shots advantage. They have the only 6 shots of this middle frame, as those scoring chances have been few and far between. No surprise during playoff time. The Stars have been extra stingy in this second period that started with 1:20 of a penalty kill. Face off to the left of Caden Primo, son of longtime NHLer Keith Primo, originally a Montreal Canadiens 7th round pick. It's his first season outside Montreal's organization for Caden Primo. And he's been among the best in the AHL this year. 4th in the league in save percentage, 7th in goals against average. 21 victories in 39 appearances. Lifted out to center. Luke Chris will throw it across the rink. And it's kept out by Hamo Salami. Trey Taylor with it now for Texas, the rookie out of Clarkson. Now Luke Chris up the right wing. Hughes got a piece of the puck. Schlane blazing after it. Robida got there first. Primo clears it out of harm's way. And here comes Justin Robida back the other way through the middle into the Texas zone. Ryan Suzuki off of Robida's skate and into the left pad of Poirier, who finds it and covers. And then some action in the Stars crease as Semenoff and Hughes will go after a Wolves player. Trying to catch a number over there. It was Bradley Nadeau. And that gets separated pretty quickly, and face-off will be in the Texas end. But Hughes continued to go back and forth with Nadeau. Neither player will be penalized. The face-off will come outside the zone. 8:37 left in the second period. Cameron Hughes led the Stars in scoring last year in the Calder Cup playoffs, had 19 points in 14 games, a team record 15 assists in a single postseason run. Picked up where he left off this season. He'll be the first to tell you it was even a slow start this season for Hughes and really everyone in green for Texas. Not a great start to the year, but boy, they have played pretty good hockey the second half of the year, and Hughes has been a big reason for that. Antonio Strong just knocked down behind the Wolves net. Play continues as the puck comes out to center. Slavin gets help from Nystrom. Launches it in cross corner. Caro's the first to the puck. Brindamore on the far side. Digging forward is Lind. Brindamore stays with it, works it around the Stars' cage. Foot comes in from the point. Strong just got it up to the blue line, but not out. Slavin held the zone. Off the stanchion, then the back of the Stars' cage. Brindamore will scoop it up and avoid Bertucci as he cycles it down low for Ryabkin. The 19-year-old Igor Ryabkin, shoved by Caro. Lynn plays it to the near wall. Foot intercepts. His shot turned aside by Poirier. At the left point, it's Nystrom. Back down to the corner for Brindamore. Checked by Caro, who jams it up the right wing side for Becker, but on the pinch, Nystrom keeps the zone. Lynn finds it in open space and sets up Bertucci. Back out to center for Cole Lynn. The alternate captain into the offensive zone for Texas to lift the backhander into the Chicago slot. And it's corralled and angled out, but this will go all the way down. And this will be an icing off the stick of Fensori, the second time we've seen it in the second period. Fensori icing the puck, and the face-off will be back in the Chicago zone with 7:19 left in the second. Stars will get a change, and it's the fourth line again, featuring the captain, Curtis McKenzie. Cross Hannes will take the face-off as Ellis Rickwood will slide over to the wing for this draw. Blocker side circle of Primo. And that wasn't a successful face-off, but neither center's chased. Same two, now it's down, and Serrano wins it. But Rickwood intercepts, tried to feed it into the slot, and it's poked out to center, and here come the Wolves up ice. Serrano in behind the defense. Behind the Stars net, leads it to the point for Valley Mackey. D to D, picked off, and it's a breakaway. Cross Hannes, in on Primo, to his backhand. Oh, it stayed out of the net somehow. My goodness. A great chance for Cross Hannes, but back come the Wolves. Pavlichev in the slot. Valley Mackey, and it's gloved by Poirier. End to end for really the first time tonight. And some fun stuff after the whistle. Cross Hannes had a backhander, I think, go off of Primo's glove and then maybe the post, but it certainly stayed out. And then Fensori, who was racing back to try to help, ended up colliding with his own goaltender as his momentum carried him into Primo. Oh, it did hit the post on the glove side of Primo, so Hannes had him beat. But Primo gets some love from his best friend to keep this game scoreless. We talked about Antonio Strangis being one of the hottest Stars players in the final 4 games of the season, Cross Hannes put together a stretch of 19 games to end the year coming off an injury where he had 17 points, 7 goals and 10 assists, and he had 5 helpers in that final weekend series against Rockford to assure the Stars got the 3 seed. Here's Ritskovian. That puck hopped over the stick of Harrison Scott, and it's brought back in by Neuchev. Unger Sorum at the left point, all the way across. Hamo Salome drops it down and around the net. Now Neuchev again. Unger Sorum to the point for Seeley. A shot gloved by Poirier from the catcher's position, hanging on to that one with 6:28 to go in the second. Playoff hockey, always the best time of year. The intensity ramps up for sure, but if you ask anybody on the Stars bench, it has felt like they've been playing playoff hockey, certainly meaningful games the last month of the season, as they were in a pretty good battle for playoff positioning with a few others in the middle of the division. Grand Rapids had already locked up the division pretty early on. Chicago had to fight off Texas toward the end, and Manitoba for that matter, to hang on to the 2 seed. And to their credit, they did so, and then were able to kind of cruise the last week of the season. But the Stars had important games all the way to the final game of the regular season to make sure they were the 3 seed and not in that opening round series. Semenoff up the left wing. Over to Trey Taylor and in across the Chicago line. They'll backhand it around the net. Hughes goes hard in after that puck. Couple of Wolves defenders back there. Semenoff scoops up the bouncing puck to the left point for Chris. Centers up, shoots a wrister. Blocker saved by Primo. Semenoff again on the left wing wall. Taken away though and lifted out, and then Semenoff knocked it out of midair as played with a high stick. And Nadeau and Hughes again exchange a few words. Clock stops with 5:54 showing on this second period timer. And we've reached another TV timeout with still zeros on the board here in Cedar Park. We'll be right back. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Step into style and comfort at the newly renovated Spring Hill Suites by Marriott Austin Cedar Park, where luxury meets laid-back Texas charm. Unwind in oversized suites, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater pool, or savor craft cocktails fireside at the SHS Bar Wall Lounge. Wake up to a complimentary gourmet breakfast, stroll our scenic walking trail, and admire local art at our stunning signature mural. Enjoy award-winning hospitality and earn points with Marriott Bonvoy. Book your stay today at Marriott.com.
Ringo's Rascals Kids Club is back for the 2025-26 season, presented by Texas Children's Austin. Be one of the coolest kids in town, and you'll receive exclusive premium giveaway items, invitations to members-only events, and special ticket offers to Texas Stars home games. Plus, enjoy discounts on seat visits, Ringo appearances, merchandise, and more. To join the fun, sign up today at texasstars.com/Ringo.
No score here in Game 1 of the Central Division semifinals. You get your tickets for Game 2, which will also be here at the HEB Center at Cedar Park Thursday night at 7 p.m. TexasStars.com/tickets or the HEB Center Ticketmaster box office in person. If you arrive at the box office with an HEB brand canned good, you can get $5 off your ticket price for Thursday's Game 2. Then the series will shift to the Windy City for Games 3 through 5 if necessary. Game 3 is assured on Saturday night at 7 at Allstate Arena. Game 4 would be 3 p.m. Sunday with a quick turnaround. And then if it goes the distance, Game 5 would be Tuesday in Chicago, a week from tonight. 5:40 to go in period 2. 0-0. Stars with a 17-9 shots advantage. 7-2 are the shots in the second period. Here's Becker onto the tape of Lind. The left wing will backhand it in around Primo's net. Strawn just the first of the puck. Tried to feed it out front to Becker, but it splits the defense and comes all the way back down. Poirier lobs it high off the glass and out. We have a whistle here. The puck was played with a high stick. Center ice draw with 5:16 to go in the second. We expected this to be a great goaltending matchup, but beyond that, it has been a pretty well-played game defensively for both teams. And it's not much of a surprise because the season series didn't have very many high-scoring games. The most high-scoring this series saw, neither of these two goalies played. It was a 7-6 shootout win for Texas on March 8th in Chicago. But the games in Cedar Park, 2-1, 5-4, so obviously that one was a little bit more open. 3-1 and 4-2, all four won by Texas. The Wolves' only win in the season series came February 21st at home in a 5-4 victory. Amos Salome drops it back to Seeley. Tipped into the Texas zone by Noah Philp. Kolyachanik will try to backhand it out. Philp keeps the zone. In around the Stars net, Kolyachanik banks it off the back of the cage. He has Philp draped all over him. Now up to the left point, Seeley. Neuchev in the high slot. Blasts that one wide of the net. Here's Hannes, who was just missed scoring the opening goal on a breakaway earlier in the period. Pass comes out to Amos Salome in the slot area, pulls it back to the blue line, sweeps it back in around the net for Philp. Unger Sorum on the right wing side. Back down low, Noah Philp. Philp changes directions with Anderson on him. Philp, left circle. Quick shot fought off by Poirier on the chance from Seeley. And the Stars look for an exit route. Kolyachanik will lift it out. Amos Salome in a fight for the puck with Hannes. Now Kolyachanik across to Anderson. Rifles it in around the Wolves' net. Stars working on a line change. And the Wolves will answer with a change of their own. 4 minutes to go in the second period. Still in search of that first one of this best-of-5 series. Seeley up the right wing for Fensori. Tipped in by Gunler. First to the puck is Pavlichev. Tried to work it behind the net. Caro intercepts. Now Bertucci up the right wing for Scott. Numbers for the Stars through the neutral zone. 4-on-2 in. Comes Scott. Drops it off to Caro. And that shot's tipped out of play by Pavlichev. Steady bottom six forward for Chicago the last couple of years. And he gets the face-off with the puck out of play on the whistle there. Nikita Pavlichev, 29-year-old out of Yaroslavl, Russia. Spent a lot of time in North America, though. Going back to 2011, he has played minor hockey, junior hockey, and college hockey in the States before turning pro. Played for Penn State right as that program was going Division I. Blocker side face-off in front of Primo. Won by Justin Robida. Valimaki to the far side. Nadeau gets it out, and it's a 2-on-1 for the Wolves. Suzuki and Robida. Suzuki saucers it into the skates. A Robida save made by Poirier on the quick shot as it goes back over to the far corner. Schlane up the wall. Picked off by Suzuki. Thrown in around the Stars' cage again. Now Fensori. Reverse checks Semenov. Taylor to the near side. Semenov jams it out to center. Valimaki pressured by Hughes, who's got Schlane with him. Puck clears the zone again, though, and then a stick came up high. It was another delayed arm up, but it will be a penalty on Texas as Nadeau whipped his head back, and Trey Taylor will sit for 2 minutes at 16:59 for a high sticking infraction. Will it be 2 or 4? It is a 2-minute minor on Taylor. It did catch Nadeau. I don't think the officials saw it right away, but saw Nadeau's reaction, and the Stars will be shorthanded for the second time as the Wolves are 0 for 1 on the power play. They started the second period with a carryover of 1:20. Texas killed that off. It was a different defenseman penalized the first time around. It was Michael Caro. This time it's Taylor. 2 minutes go up on the board with 3:01 left in the second. Still zeros. Face off to the right of Poirier. Jack Becker on the draw against Skylar Brindamore. The Wolves will start off with their second power play unit on the ice. They didn't get any time on the first power play opportunity. And their top line was just out there for a long shift. Face-off won by Texas. Kolyachanik clears it. And the Wolves will have to start over in their own end. Ronan Seeley through the middle of the ice. Noah Philp into the Texas zone on the right wing. Philp down to the corner. Drops it in behind the net. Luke Chris was there for the puck. He'll lift it high in the air, 200 feet, all the way back down. 2.5 minutes to go in the second. 90 seconds left on the penalty time. Seeley with the puck, inching his way towards center on the breakout. And Philp couldn't catch that pass cleanly as Hannes swats it back down into the Wolves zone. So far, so good for the Stars penalty killers. Now Caro and Anderson jump onto the ice to join Scott and Hannes. And the top power play unit will make their way on for the Wolves. But this pass is too far for Robida. He catches up to it on the bounce. Circles the Stars net. Left wing side now for Suzuki. Back to Robida. Up top for Fensori. And here's Valimaki. Now over to Bradley Nadeau, who takes the spot of Fensori. Center point, Valimaki. Couldn't connect with Robida, but hustling over was Suzuki. And the puck comes all the way up to the point again. Valimaki keeps the zone. Robida on the half wall. Down to the goal line. Suzuki. 40 seconds left on the penalty time. Right circle, up top, Valimaki. High slot, shoots! Gloved by Poirier. Calm, cool, and collected. And he's only faced 3 shots in this second period. 10 for the game. 37 seconds left on the penalty time to Taylor. So Chicago will keep that top unit on the ice. The Stars will swap out a few penalty killers. Hughes, Schlane, Kolyachonok, and Chris come onto the ice. Glove side circle of Poirier. Robida on the dot against Schlane. Schlane wins this into the corner. Luke Chris fires it around the boards. Off the skate of Nadeau, it's kept in. Nadeau to the point for Valimaki. Half a minute left on the power play. Here's Unger Sorum. Down to the corner, Suzuki. Out front tipped, and the Stars can't get possession though. Wolves get it back. Suzuki across, and diving to break it up was Hughes. Here's Valimaki on the left wing. To the point for Unger Sorum. The Norwegian forward will work it down to the corner for Suzuki. Centering pass picked off by Kolyachonok, and he's able to lift it out of the zone. 8 seconds before Taylor returns. Valimaki under pressure from Schlane. Hughes will play keep away, and he finds Caro, and the Stars get the job done again. Chicago's 0 for 2. And out of the box comes Trey Taylor. But the Stars can't connect with Taylor on a breakout pass. That'll be icing. Caro tried to find Taylor as he was escaping the sin bin. And so the Stars will have to take this face-off with 3 defensemen out there. 55.8 seconds left in the second period. The Stars have Rickwood and McKenzie as their 2 forwards. Taylor, Caro, and Chris are the 3 defensemen. Glove side circle of Poirier. Chicago with 2 shots on that man advantage. 11 so far in the game. 0s in the final minute of the second period. Taylor playing wing on this face-off, jump the gun. They reset. Face-off won by Rickwood. Chris up the far side. McKenzie gets a piece of it. That deflects high in the air, falls to the ice at the center ice logo, and it's shot back in by the Wolves. Poirier finds Michael Caro. Works it up the near side for McKenzie. He's got Cross Hannes in the neutral zone. Hannes looking for help from Rickwood. Broken up by Nystrom and brought back in by Slavin. Snaps it across the ice. Left circle. Here's a sharp angle shot that goes wide. Final 25 seconds of the frame. McKenzie clears it, but this one will have too much on it, I think. It will cross the Chicago goal line for icing. So the second straight Texas icing. Now they were able to get Taylor off the ice for a forward initially. So it's back to the 4th line with Hannes, Rickwood, and McKenzie, Caro, and Chris on defense. Noah Philp on the draw for Chicago against Rickwood. Philp wins the draw, but it splits the defense and was brought back in offside by Hamos Salome. So that helps the Stars reset in the neutral zone this upcoming draw and get the personnel they want to finish out the second period with. Approach the second intermission, perhaps still in a scoreless hockey game. Game 1 of this division semifinal series. Jack Becker and Noah Philp on the dot. Another win for Philp. Started the year with the Edmonton Oilers and was claimed off of waivers by Carolina. Dumped in around the Stars net, pushed around the boards and out, past Strongis. Final 6 seconds of the period. Hamo Salami will catch up to the puck with no icing. And that's going to do it for the middle 20. The Stars had a better period than the Wolves did, certainly in the second. Neither team with a high volume of scoring chances. The best one was Cross Hannes on a breakaway, picking off a D-to-D pass and skating it in, but he was stymied by the glove side post of Caden Primo. Stars killed off 2 penalties, and we remain scoreless after 40. We'll be back with our second intermission and a scoreboard update after this. This is the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
At the Klein Law Firm, we do things differently. We'll walk you through all of your options for pursuing your injury claim, even if that means not hiring us, because our priority is what's best for you. We believe every client deserves personal, consistent representation. Unlike large firms where your case may be passed from lawyer to lawyer, here you'll work with the same attorney from start to finish, the one you actually hired. The Klein Law Firm, putting the community first, one client at a time.
Smoky Denmark is proud to serve the official hot dog of the Texas Stars. Family owned and operated in Central Texas since 1964, Smoky Denmark's mission is to help people make memories around food. Our all-beef hot dogs are smoked with real hickory, guaranteed to make your first bite unforgettable. As a proud sponsor of the HEB Center, we hope you'll enjoy a delicious Smoky Denmark hot dog from your nearest concession stand. You can also find Smoky Denmark sausage at any Central Texas HEB.
Austin, get ready to fall in love with hot toasted perfection. Snarf sandwiches. Their made-to-order subs are stacked high with premium ingredients on Snarf's signature bread. Add a little kick with their special blend of hot peppers. Fan favorites include the Italian, meatball parm, barbecue smoked brisket, and pastrami and Swiss. Vegetarian and gluten-free options are available along with a full catering menu. With 5 Austin locations, it's easier than ever to get your hands on the bold flavors fans rave about. Visit eatsnarfs.com for the location nearest you.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before with AHL TV on FloHockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game live or on demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit FloHockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action.
This is Matthew Seminoff. Now back to JP with more Texas Stars hockey.
Just how many of you might have expected this to go, we are scoreless here in Cedar Park after 40 minutes in Game 1 between Texas and Chicago. 2 of the top goaltenders in the AHL this year. The second period didn't have a ton of high-quality chances, but nonetheless, we remain scoreless after 40 minutes here at the HEB Center at Cedar Park in this first game of a best-of-5 series between the Stars and the Wolves. John Peterson back here with you. Welcome into our second intermission on FloHockey. Second period saw just 11 total shots after 17 combined in the first period. The Stars with a 17-11 margin through 40 minutes, but 7-4 were the shots in the second period. Texas also killed off 2 penalties, 1 to Michael Caro for a trip, 1 to Trey Taylor for a high sticking infraction. So the teams will be even 5-on-5 when the third period begins. Who will get that all-important first goal? Let's take a look at what's happening in the NHL's Stanley Cup playoffs. Our scoreboard update is brought to you by Victory Plus, your home for Dallas Stars hockey and more. Dallas Stars are taking on the Minnesota Wild, Game 5 of their first-round series. Minnesota has taken a 2-1 lead from the looks of it at the second intermission. Matt Boldy with a power play goal for the Wild. That series even at 2. Game 6 is a guarantee on Thursday in St. Paul, and if necessary, Game 7 will be back at American Airlines Center in Dallas on Saturday night. Meanwhile, Boston and Buffalo are locked in a 1-1 tie with half of the third period remaining. Buffalo leads the series 3-1. They are hosting Game 5 and have a chance at advancing with a win. Rasmus Dahlin scored the opening goal for Buffalo on the power play back in the first period, 3.5 minutes in. Elias Lindholm tied it unassisted for Boston midway through the second period. That's where we stand in that one. The winner of that series would get the winner of Tampa and Montreal, which has been arguably the best, if not one of the best, series of the opening round in the NHL. Tampa Bay will host Game 5 after the team split the 2 games in Montreal, and that series is now down to a best of 3. The other half of the Eastern Conference bracket, the Carolina Hurricanes swept Ottawa in their opening round series. Carolina is Chicago's NHL affiliate, so they'll await the winner of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which will head to a Game 6 in Philly. The Flyers led the series 3-0. The Penguins have won the last 2 to make it interesting. If they can steal one in Philadelphia in Game 6, it would force a winner-take-all Game 7 back in Pittsburgh with the right to play the Hurricanes in the second round. Colorado has already advanced in the Western Conference. They swept the Los Angeles Kings 4-0 and will await the winner of Dallas and Minnesota, which has been a grueling, drag-it-out series as expected. A couple of overtime games as well. And as I mentioned, Game 5 is currently in favor of the Wild 2-1 after 2. The other half of the Western Conference bracket, Utah and Vegas, they're tied 2 games apiece. Game 5 will be in Vegas. And then Anaheim has a 3-1 series lead, and they travel to Edmonton for Game 5 tonight. The late game is in Alberta, a must-win for the Oilers to keep that series alive and force a Game 6 back in Anaheim. That's a look at the Stanley Cup bracket. In the Calder Cup playoffs, this is the only game on the schedule tonight, Texas and Chicago, Game 1. In the North Division semifinals, Syracuse and Cleveland split the first 2 games, and they will now have a best of 3 to decide who wins that series to move on to the North Division finals, where they will meet the winner of Laval and Toronto. The Rocket and the Marlies get underway tomorrow night in Quebec at Place Bell. The other side of the Eastern Conference bracket, the Providence Bruins, a couple of former Texas Stars on that roster, Matej Blumel and Riley Tufte. They had the #1 record in the AHL in the regular season, home ice throughout the playoffs. They'll have a best of 5 against the Springfield Thunderbirds, who upset Charlotte in their best of 3 series. Hershey beat Bridgeport to advance, and the Bears will play the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in the Battle of Pennsylvania, best of 5 there in the Atlantic Division. In the Central, Grand Rapids, the #1 seed in the West. They'll have home ice throughout the Western Conference playoffs. They host Manitoba in a best of 5. And then in the Pacific, it's Ontario and Coachella Valley. Colorado will face Henderson. We'll be back with more in our second intermission. No score here in Cedar Park. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
If you're looking for a spot to snag a coffee, tea, beer, or wine with a friend, come on out to one of Red Horn's 5 locations. Our original coffee roastery, beer, pub, and cafe sits at Palmer Lane and 1431. Our brewing facility with a coffee shop, tap room, and full kitchen is at Scottsdale Drive and 183A. Rinkside Cafe by Red Horn is our shop nestled in the crossover, while our coffee cart serves at the Cedar Park Public Library. And now you can visit our newest Red Horn location on the Georgetown Square. Search Red Horn Brew on your socials and Google for more information.
Velocity Credit Union is proud to sponsor the Texas Stars and the HEB Center. Since 1947, we've been helping Austin and the surrounding communities with smarter financial services. With 6 convenient locations across Austin, including Cedar Park and Round Rock, we're here to deliver more value with free checking, better rates, and lower fees. Velocity is one of Texas's largest and strongest credit unions, dedicating to meeting your needs today and well into the future. Experience exceptional service. Visit us at Velocity Credit Union.
When you're at the HEB Center, 5-Star Event Services is there to secure and protect. Since 2000, we've provided security guards and event staff personnel for more than 40,000 sports entertainment events in Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Our security guards and event staff are trained and state licensed while encouraging a safe, friendly, and professional atmosphere for our guests, athletes, entertainers, and all. Our license number is B09954. For more information about 5-Star, visit 5starstaff.com. That's with the number 5.
For the commute around town or a road trip across Texas, Volvo cars and SUVs have been thoughtfully crafted to elevate every journey with more comfort, more luxury, and more safety for everyone. Volvo cars are made to protect both people and our planet, with all electrified models ranging from mild hybrid to pure electric. Volvo Cars of Austin has the new car to meet your needs and lifestyle. Visit us online at volvoaustin.com.
Everyone deserves a little something to themselves. That's why we created new Pizza Hut Melts. Treat yourself to crispy, dippable melts stacked with flavor that's just for you. Because you can't spell melts without me. Trust me, we tried. Try it in 4 mouth-watering recipes, from pepperoni lovers to chicken bacon parmesan, meat lovers to buffalo chicken, each with their own sauce that you can double dip all you want. Because you're not sharing this thing. Pizza Hut is the preferred pizza of the Texas Stars. Order online now at pizzahut.com.
Are Texas bugs bugging you? Let veteran-owned and operated Green Pest Guys win the war on bugs. Green Pest Guys uses only eco-friendly products such as essential oils inside, so you don't have to choose between the safety of family and pets or getting rid of those creepy crawlers. When you're ready to conquer those irritating insects, call Green Pest Guys at 512-456-0404 or visit us online at greenpestguys.com. And just remember, at Green Pest Guys, we never surrender.
From the heart of Gerald to the charm of Seguin, Texas, Pacesetter Homes opens the door to home ownership throughout the Lone Star State. Plus, score up to $15,000 in flex cash, perfect to use towards closing costs or a stellar interest rate buydown. At Pacesetter Homes, we believe in giving you the flexibility to make your move smooth and affordable. At Pacesetter Homes, we have homes for everyone, whether you're seeking the convenience of a townhome in Round Rock, a farmhouse in Liberty Hill, or something in between, we've got it all. Your Texan dream is just a visit away. Come visit us at PacesetterHomesTexas.com, where we're not just building houses, we're creating homes and dreams. Pacesetter Homes, our goal, our passion, your home.
Leanne Morgan, the Time of Our Lives Tour.
My children went to a small Christian school in Knoxville, and the girl that worked front desk was Jeannie, who's a good friend of mine. And I dropped my little children off that morning, and I came back that afternoon, and Jeannie saw me walk in, and she grabbed her chest and said, "Oh my gosh, Leanne, how are you walking?" She said, "Maggie said you had surgery today." I said, "Jeannie, I got my IUD replaced."
Live on stage at HEB Center at Cedar Park, Friday, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before with AHL TV on FloHockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game live or on demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit FloHockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action.
This is Michael Carroll. Now back to JP with more Texas Stars hockey.
40 minutes through Game 1 of the Central Division Semifinals. The Texas Stars and Chicago Wolves are scoreless, with the Stars holding a 17-11 shots advantage thus far. Both goalies have done their job. Caden Primo got a little bit of help from his friend in the second period. The glove side post, the best scoring chance perhaps of the frame, came from Cross Hannes, the Dallas native, who picked off a D-to-D pass at the defensive blue line, skated back on a breakaway, and lifted a backhander past Primo's glove, but it hit the post and stayed out. Remy Poirier stopped a transition rush scoring opportunity the Wolves had at the other end. And Poirier also made a save on a 2-on-1 opportunity the Wolves had that Justin Robida was able to kick onto his blade and get the shot off. But Poirier stopped 11 of 11, including 4 in the second period. Primo has turned away all 17 he's seen, including 7 in that second period. We've had 2 penalties here in Game 1 so far. Michael Carroll was called for tripping late in the first period. It was a carryover. About a minute 20 left of that penalty that the Stars killed off at the start of the second period and didn't allow a shot. And Trey Taylor was called for high sticking at 16:59 of the second period, and the Stars killed off that 2-minute infraction to keep Chicago's power play off the board on the 2 opportunities. The Stars have not had a power play yet here in Game 1. We'll see if that changes as we get closer to the end of regulation and things tighten up for potentially free hockey. And I think not very many people would be surprised if these teams needed to go beyond regulation with how close the season series was. Now, the records maybe don't indicate how close the season series was. The Stars won 7 of the 8, including all 4 at home. But there were 3 one-goal games, 1 shootout, and a couple of 2-goal games that really were one-goal games that had empty netters involved. Taking a look at these two teams' records in one-goal games during the regular season, the Stars went 16-9-6. With those 6 overtime results coming with 4 overtime losses and 2 shootout losses. Chicago they were tied for the most overtime games in the AHL this year. They were tied with Calgary. 24 games went to overtime for the Wolves. And they had an overall record of 18-5-15 in one-goal games. They lost just 5 regulation games by a goal. 2 of those 5 came against Texas in the season series. But they had 15 losses in overtime or a shootout this year. Of course, in the regular season, you play 3-on-3 overtime, followed by the 3-man shootout. In the playoffs, you can play late into the night until there's a goal, 5-on-5 for overtime. Obviously, we're still 20 minutes away from that with a 0-0 deadlock heading into the third period. We'll come back with the drop of the puck after this. Don't go anywhere. This is the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
What can you expect from Blue Corn Harvest Bar and Grill? A kitchen where everything is made from scratch with fresh farm-to-table ingredients. And we're chef-owned, which means our heart is here in every order. Our focus is on every plate. We're committed to continuing the legacy of Southwestern cuisine by using only best quality and traditional ingredients to make our tacos, enchiladas, crab-stuffed chicken, blue corn crust crispy salmon, and so much more. Check out our menus online at bluecornharvest.com.
Baylor Scott & White is the official healthcare sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like on the ice, every goal starts with making the first move. Whether you're lacing up for a new sport or making everyday moves towards better health, you've got what it takes. And when it comes to reaching your goals, big or small, Baylor Scott & White Health is with you all the way. Let's win this.
At Austin Telco, you're not just a customer, you're a member. We offer our members several advantages, including free checking with no minimum balance and hundreds of free ATMs. Membership is easy and open to anyone in 6 counties around the Austin metro area, and with 24 branches, chances are there's one near you. Go online and see how easy it is to join Austin Telco today, proud partner of the Texas Stars.
If you're looking for a spot to snag a coffee, tea, beer, or wine with a friend, come on out to one of Red Horn's 5 locations. Our original coffee roastery, beer, pub, and cafe sits at Palmer Lane and 1431. Our brewing facility with a coffee shop, tap room, and full kitchen is at Scottsdale Drive and 183A. Rinkside Cafe by Red Horn is our shop nestled in the crossover, while our coffee cart serves at the Cedar Park Public Library. And now you can visit our newest Red Horn location on the Georgetown Square. Search Red Horn Brew on your socials and Google for more information.
This is Harrison Scott. Now back to JP with more Texas Stars hockey.
No score through 40 minutes. A pretty defensively stout game from the Texas Stars and the Chicago Wolves for that matter. Not a lot of high-quality chances in that second period. The Stars outshot the Wolves 7-4. And the best chance didn't count as an official shot, I don't believe, unless Caden Primo got the tip of his glove on it. But Cross Hannes had that breakaway from 3/4 down the ice, and his backhander clanked off the glove side post. Stars penalty kill did its job on 2 infractions to keep Chicago's power play off the board. And now we enter the third, still in search of that first goal. Taking a look at this series schedule, best of 5 starting tonight. Game 2 is also here in Cedar Park. Get your tickets at texasstars.com/tickets or the HEB Center Ticketmaster box office for Game 2 Thursday night at 7. Game 3 is also guaranteed Saturday at 7 at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. And if necessary, a quick turnaround for Game 4, which would be a 3 p.m. Sunday game in the Windy City. If the series goes the distance, like the last time these teams met 16 years ago in the division finals that year, Game 5 of this series would be Tuesday, a week from tonight at 7 p.m. in Chicago. These two teams, it's amazing, they've only played one time in the postseason before this year. They've played 102 regular season games over the years, and all they have seen in the postseason was a 7-game classic back in 2010. This one is scoreless entering the third. The Stars will skate left to right in their green, the Wolves right to left in their white. We're underway here in Cedar Park. Thanks for joining us wherever you are tonight on FloHockey. This puck comes out towards center. There's a penalty coming on the Wolves. I believe it'll be a slash. Here comes Kolyachanik into the offensive zone. Lind a drive that sails wide of Primo's net. Poirier to the bench for the extra attacker, who is Cameron Hughes, taking his spot. The puck comes back out to center. The Stars will regroup with the arm up. I think it's a slash on Chicago in the offensive zone early in this third period when the Wolves get possession of the puck. It would be the first Texas power play of the game. Carroll will spin back to his own blue line, and he'll look for a pass through center. They'll find Kolyachanik instead. And Kolyachanik, a couple of Stars collided as Hughes and Lind ran into each other. But Lind will now skate it out towards center as he finds Strangis on the right wing. He launches it in around the net. It's knocked down by Primo. He didn't have possession of the puck, though. The Stars get it back. Here's Hughes. Up top, it's Carroll. D to D. Kolyachanik looks in. Goes back over. Hughes left circle. Drops it off to Lind. Here's Carroll again. Lind with a drive. Fought off by Primo. Shoulder save. And the puck goes out of play. There's your whistle. 1:10 seconds in. It will be a slash. And the Stars will head to the Pluckers power play for the first time. Pluckers, best wings in Texas. See if they can convert. Chicago is still wondering who the guilty player is, and now somebody will make their way over to the penalty box. It was a stick-on-stick slash early in the period. Noel Gunler will serve it. I don't even know if Gunler was on the ice. I thought it was a different line out there to start the period, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Gunler will serve the slash at 1:10. The Stars' power play was 1 for 24 against Chicago in the regular season, 4.2%. The Wolves' penalty kill was 6th best overall in the league at 84.1%. It's an aggressive penalty kill that attacks the puck carrier immediately. You have to get rid of it quickly against this Wolves penalty kill. Taylor drops it back to Cameron Hughes, who carves through the middle of the ice. On the left wing, Artem Schlane tried to go back down low to Hughes. Pressure in the corner. It comes back up the wall. Here's Taylor. Hughes again in the corner. Angles it up top to Trey Taylor. He swings it to Dylan Ritzkovian. Down to the goal line, Schlane. Schlane back to Taylor again. Left circle, Hughes. Hughes centered one, tipped on goal, save made by Primo, and now Matthew Semenoff with the puck. Down to the goal line, Hughes. Back to Semenoff. Back door, they score! Schlane opens the conversation in game one. 1:53 seconds into the third, and it's a power play goal. Schlane from Semenoff and Hughes. Artem Schlane had 5 power play goals in the regular season. He gets his first career Calder Cup playoff goal after a tremendous rookie campaign, and the Stars have the first one in this best-of-5 series. 1-0 with 18:07 left in the third. Matthew Semenoff was the setup man. He had 9 power play goals to lead Texas in the regular season, but just 1 assist on the man advantage, and he gets the primary helper there. 18 minutes left here in regulation, and the Stars have the first lead of this division semifinal series. Curtis McKenzie with the puck in front of the benches. Up the left wing and in off the stick of Hannes, down into the far corner. Valimaki reverses it to Fensori. Knocked down by Hannes. Quick shot off of Primo from Curtis McKenzie. Sharp angle attempt. Valimaki lifts it back out, and it's swatted in by Neuchev. Bertucci hustles after the puck. He'll feed it up the left wing. Gloved and held by Fensori. Wrist shot tipped wide of the net. Back to the left wing. Neuchev cycles it for Unger Sorum. Into the skates of Philp. To the point, it's Fensori. He'll tap it over to the far side. Here's a shot into traffic. Never made it to Poirier. Now it's Unger Sorum. His pass was in the skates of Valimaki, who puts the pressure on Hannes. Down low, intercepted by Philp in the corner. Philp out front. Valimaki, that's blocked. Bouncing puck is gathered by Ellis Rickwood, who will escape out to center with it. And he'll release it the rest of the way down as the Stars change all 5. 17 minutes to go in the third period. Scoreless through 40. The Stars have the first goal on the power play. They managed just one in the season series against the Wolves, and they're 1-for-1 so far in the playoffs. Schlane from Seminoff and Hughes. We have another Chicago penalty coming, and this one is going to be another slash at 3:16. So the Stars power play will get their second straight man advantage, and it's the same man heading to the sin bin, Noel Gunler, who had to watch Artem Schlane break the scoreless deadlock the last time he was whistled for slashing. The Stars power play in the regular season was 30th in the league at 14.2%. A rare stat for a power play that historically has been among the best in the AHL most years. But Cameron Hughes was the Stars' leader with 18 power play points, 4 goals, 14 assists, and he got one on the Schlane goal. Now the Stars will get set up right off the hop on their second power play. Hughes, top of the circle, fires, it's blocked, got it back, finds Seminoff in the corner. Seminoff back to Hughes on the half wall. Hughes back into the face-off circle. Taylor pump fakes, pulls back, goes right back to Hughes. Hughes, down low to Seminoff again. They'll trade spots. Seminoff into the high slot, goes back to Hughes. Down low, looking in, firing off the shoulder. It bounces into the crease, and it's gathered by Cal Foote. Penalty coming on Texas on that battle at the side of the net. It's going to be a hooking call on Hughes, and that will negate the last 128 of the Stars power play. They'll be 1 for 2. The teams will skate 4-on-4 for a minute 28. And then Chicago will get a shortened power play of their own for 32 seconds. Time of this penalty, 3:48. And the faceoff comes all the way back down in front of Remy Poirier. Shots are 21-11 in the game. Stars with the first goal from Artem Schlane, the Moscow native, in his first pro season after 5 college years, 2 spent with the University of Connecticut, 2 with Northern Michigan, in his graduate year with Arizona State. His brother just transferred from Minnesota Duluth to Arizona State to join Greg Powers' team next season. Following in his older brother's footsteps, Schlane has the only goal so far. Now the teams skate 4-on-4 for a minute and a half. Chris down to the corner. Hamo Salami will battle with Becker. Lind helps out for Texas in the attacking zone, but now the Wolves get control of the puck, and Valley Mackey will clear it. Tip down into the Texas end. Roby does the first to it. Poke checked by Chris. Nadeau follows up the play. Up to the point for Hamo Salami, and that shot is right into the catching glove of Remy Poirier. 15:38 left in the third. 54 seconds left on Noel Gunler's penalty. A minute 26 remaining on Cameron Hughes' penalty. Face-off will be to the left of Remy Poirier. So far, so good for him. Quite a bit of experience last year. Started the playoffs last year as the number 1 for Texas going into Grand Rapids for that division semifinal series. Kept the Griffins off the board in game 1 in a 4-0 win, and helped the Stars win the second game 4-2. Hamo Salami with the puck. Here's Ryabkin. He'll reverse it to Suzuki. Up top, it's Hamo Salami. Back to Ryabkin. To the blue line again. And that one floats into the glove of Poirier. Ryabkin just barely kept the zone right on the blue line and just threw it toward the net. Poirier decided to keep that one for the face-off with 15:22 left in the third period. 38 seconds left on the 4-on-4. And then again, 32 seconds of a brief power play for Chicago. Victor Neuchev will take the face-off, the former third-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Goes up against Jack Becker, former 6th rounder of the Boston Bruins. Check that, 7th rounder in 2015 of Boston. Hamo Salami drags it into the high slot on his backhand. Tried to find Unger Sorum, but chases him out of the zone. Lind puts the pressure on. Unger Sorum will work it back to Hamo Salami. 15 seconds before Gunler returns. Hamo Salami to Valley Mackey. He couldn't catch it cleanly, and Becker intercepts for Texas. Stick handles in. Lind on the right wing with him. Down into the corner. And behind the Wolves net, Becker continues the pressure. Hamo Salami works it back over to the near boards. Here comes Gunler as the Wolves are at full strength. 25 seconds left on Hughes' penalty. Stars will look at a line change, but here comes Unger Sorum into the Stars zone. Drags it into the circle to get around Chris behind the Stars net. Tipped and then picked off by Semenoff, racing back the other way shorthanded. Semenoff taps it into the Chicago zone. Fensori recovers the puck. Hughes returns in 5 seconds. The Wolves will skate it into the Texas zone, onside, across into Doe. Drop pass, Fensori over the top of the net. Here comes Hughes. The Stars will try to catch him on a jailbreak. Artem Schlein across the seam. Here's Hughes again. He'll work it in around the Wolves net. Unger Sorum tied up by Schlein. So officially the Stars are 1 for 2 on the power play. The Wolves are 0 for 3. The Stars lead 1-0 with just under 14 minutes to go in the third. Jack Anderson scoops up the puck, finds Trey Taylor. They'll lift this one out. It was tipped in neutral ice, no icing. And the Wolves will get to that one. It's Yule Nystrom. Left wing, Brindamore. Hopped past Slavin, recovered by Taylor. Taylor goes tape to tape for Jack Anderson. Broken up at the Chicago blue line by Nystrom. Shot all the way down though, it'll be icing. Offensive zone face-off for the Texas Stars. Artem Schlein with the opening goal of this series at 1:53 of the third on the first Stars power play of the night from Semenoff and Hughes. Schlein had 19 goals in the regular season to lead all Texas rookies. He had one more than the man taking this face-off, Harrison Scott, who had 18 in his first pro season. Face-off won by Chicago. Foot plays it around the boards and out. Luke Chris will look ahead. Saucers it across the seam, helped out by Bertucci. Foot keeps it out of the Wolves zone. Ryabkin sends it up the left wing, but it's taken back by Christian Fitzgerald for Texas. He'll set up Chris, who goes D to D across to Bertucci. Bertucci back over to Fitzgerald on the right wing side. Fitzgerald will throw it down into the Wolves' corner, hustling in after it, and winning the race was Harrison Scott. To the point for Chris, to Bertucci. Left circle now. Thrown to the front by Hannes, kicked out by Primo back into the corner. Now over to the near wall. First to it, Dylan Ritzkovian, kept in by Chris. Chris sweeps it back over to Hannes, stops on the half wall. Here's Ritzkovian, top of the circle. Ritzkovian backs it up, drops it in around the net. Foot pressured by Harrison Scott, deep in the Chicago zone. Hannes comes in to help for Texas on the forecheck. 12.5 minutes left in this third period. Still 1-0 Stars. Bertucci at the left point. Spins away from Ryabkin. Down the wall. Then held in at the point, and a shot almost fooled Primo. He makes the save. Curtis McKenzie just threw it at the net right in front of the Chicago bench, and Primo had to make the stick save. Neuchev. And now Noah Philp will drop it into the Texas zone. Neuchev's the first to it. Sharp angle attempt. Glove by Poirier. He keeps the play alive. Rick Wood will find McKenzie, who circles back away from pressure, and then his pass went off the stick of Neuchev, and it'll be helped out of the zone by Kolyachanik. Recovered again by Unger Sorum into the Texas zone, but Rick Wood is able to knock that back out to neutral ice. Puck caught the linesman on the near side. Now Fensori connects with Ryan Suzuki, whose brother Nick's the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Suzuki brings it in, shoots, save made, rebound, bounces over a Chicago stick. They get another chance, and Poirier denies Unger Sorum. Still loose in front. Carroll will take it out of harm's way, lifts it off the glass, kept in at the blue line, and it bounces wide again behind the Stars' cage. Neuchev putting the pressure on Carroll. Kolyachanik will circle his net. And his pass will make it over to Becker on the right wing. He weaves back through the middle, has Stranges in behind the defense, and he ripped it just wide on the glove side post. 11:05 to go in the third, still 1-0. Lind to Stranges, right back in on the right wing side. Stranges stops in the circle, gets his stick free, couldn't get the shot off though, and it's picked up instead by Suzuki, who inches his way out. Brought in by Nadeau, right wing circle, Robida in behind the net. Robida stays with the puck to the blue line. Ronan Seeley snaps it across to Hamo Salami. Right circle. He's knocked down by Stranges. Stays up now in the corner and works it around the net. Seeley. High slot, Robida. That shot blocked by Stranges. Far corner, Suzuki. Suzuki chops it down low. Chris closes out Bradley Nadeau. Taylor up the left wing. Stepping up to pinch was the Wolves defender, Hamo Salami, but the Stars got it to center. And Luke Chris will skate it back into his own end, saucering it over to Taylor. The Wolves change that top line. They go to the bench for a breather. Out comes their fourth line. Kind of a mixture, actually, of their fourth line and Felix Unger-Sorum double shifting. Brought back out by Trey Taylor. Into the Chicago zone. Dangles to his backhand. He's poke checked by Foote. Cal Foote's brother Nolan just played in the Calder Cup playoffs with Charlotte in the opening round in the Atlantic Division. Serrato behind the Stars net. Bouncing puck, Schlane got it to the point. Kept in by Nystrom. Down low, into the slot, Unger-Sorum, touch pass to the right wing for Foote. Tries a sharp angle shot that misses wide, and Karams all the way back out to center with 9.5 minutes left in the third period here in game one. Stars lead 1-0. Artem Schlane on the power play early in the third. Cameron Hughes with the puck now for Texas. Tape to tape has Kolyachanik into the Chicago zone. In the slot, goes over to the right circle. Harrison Scott will find it in the corner. Kicks it free to Dylan Ritzkovian. He tried to angle it up top, but he had his head down. Nobody was at that left point position, so they'll have to tag up onside. And it's thrown back in by Scott. Fensori will gather it, chased by Fitzgerald. Valley Mackey banks it off the boards. Knocked out by Slavin. Fitzgerald in his own end for Bertucci. Out to center for Scott, tipped into the Wolves zone. Fensori will work it back ahead, but Carroll keeps it out at the Texas blue line. Now Slavin wins a battle in open ice at center. And back in the Chicago zone, Valley Mackey will feed it up ice for Brindamore. Racing after it, Slavin in the Stars' corner. He's crunched by Carroll. Ryabkin out front to Brindamore. Poke checked by Poirier. Loose puck in the slot. Poirier gloves it on the hop with 8:26 remaining. Timeout on the ice. The Stars lead 1-0 here in game one. We'll be right back. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Subaru of Georgetown is a proud sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like the Stars bring passion, power, and performance to the ice, Subaru delivers safety, reliability, and adventure to every drive. Whether you're cheering on your Texas Stars at the rink or exploring the wide-open Texas outdoors, Subaru is built for wherever life takes you. Come see us at Subaru of Georgetown, where community drives forward, and every customer is part of our family. Subaru of Georgetown, proud to drive with the Texas Stars.
Teach your kids how to manage their finances with Austin Telco's True Youth Debit Card, rated most respected credit union in Texas for youth accounts by cardrates.com. The card is designed to teach kids the importance of responsible debit card usage. With unique features like a daily spending limit and a cap on the number of transactions allowed per, you can trust that their money is safe. Visit aatfcu.org to learn more. Austin Telco. True youth accounts, designed for kids, tools for parents, federally insured by NCUA.
.26 left in the third period here in Cedar Park. Game one of the Central Division semifinals. The Texas Stars are up 1-0 on an early third period power play goal from Artem Schlane. Set up by Matthew Semenoff and Cameron Hughes. Remy Poirier has stopped all 16 shots he's seen. Caden Primo has stopped 22 of 23 at the other end. The Stars were 7 points behind Chicago in the division at season's end, but had one more victory than the Wolves did. The Wolves had 9 more losses in overtime or shootout to get that 7-point cushion and grab the 2 seed and home ice advantage in this best-of-5 series should the series go the distance. Stars opening up with games 1 and 2 here on home ice before things shift to the Windy City on Saturday night for game 3. Face-off will be to the left of Remy Poirier in the Texas end. Harrison Scott will take the draw for the Stars against Noah Philp for the Wolves. The puck is down, and the Stars find the loose puck and lift it out to center in front of the Stars bench. Seeley and Scott will battle for it. Ryabkin gets it free, and it's worked across to Philp, down into the Texas corner. First to it is Michael Carroll. Now it's Tristan Bertucci. He's shoved, but gets some help from Ellis Rickwood. Hannes dumped at the half wall. Now Unger-Sorum will try to feed it back down low to Ryabkin. Carroll picks off the centering pass. Hannes had to roll off his stick, though, and now Philp will fight for it to get possession back for Chicago. Hannes banks it to the line, forces it out to center beyond Unger Sorum, and the puck is tipped up into the Chicago bench, and Hannes gave Unger Sorum a shot. Will there be any penalties out of this? Originally, the arm never went up. The reaction, though, is Chicago did not like that at all. And so Hannes gave the initial shove to Unger Sorum. The Wolves jumped Hannes after that. And I think both players are going to go here. 7:47 left in the third. The Stars have made it a point tonight. It's been somewhat subtle, but it looks like they have tried everything they could to get under the skin of Felix Unger Sorum, or at least cancel out his abilities. He is very, very talented. Just his second pro season out of Norway. Former second-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes, arguably their top prospect currently in the pro ranks. And that's saying a lot with the likes of Bradley Nadeau, Justin Robida, and company. But Unger Sorum led them this year in scoring with 66 points and was one of their few Ironmen played in every game. Against Texas, too, he had a lot of success. He had 12 points in the 8-game season series. But at this moment, it'll be 2 minutes each for Hannes and Unger Sorum at 12:13 of the third. And it looks like the teams will skate 4-on-4. Cross Hannes has been a fan favorite since stepping foot on the ice opening weekend against his old team, Grand Rapids, initially on a tryout to start the year. Eventually, he earned a standard player contract in mid-December to finish out the season with his in-state team. And he grew up playing for the Dallas Stars youth program before going off to juniors, where he wound up in the Western League with Portland. He was a second-round pick of the Red Wings, and after his entry-level deal expired, back in the Lone Star State. Great player in the community as well. And there he gets 2 minutes along with Unger Sorum for the roughing infractions at that last whistle. So 7.5 minutes to go here in the third. 1-0 Texas, and we skate 4-on-4. Nadeau into the zone with help from Robida. Good pressure by Artem Schlane, taking the puck away from Robida, brought in on the left wing by Taylor, back to Schlane. Stops in the face-off circle and looks for some help. Goes back to Taylor at the point. Works it in around the net. Valimaki intercepts down there. And Valimaki will feed it up the left wing for Nadeau. Back through the middle, it's Dominic Fensori. Back over to Nadeau into the Texas zone. Stick handles down the left wing. In behind the net. Nadeau to the right circle. Up to the point, and that misses Fensori and chases him out of the zone. The Wolves will get a change. Stars already changing. A minute left in the 4-on-4 with under 7 to go in regulation. Noah Philp crisscrossing with Nystrom. They'll do it again. Nystrom gains the Stars line on the right wing. Far corner. Nystrom. Now Philp out front, and he couldn't connect with Suzuki as it came right through the crease. Now Cal Foote on the left wing half wall. Ryan Suzuki back to the blue line. Saucers it over to Nystrom. Stops and spins, centers up, goes to the right circle. Suzuki again. Chips it in behind the Stars net. Semenov hustling after it with Philp. Getting help from Koliachonic, but it's kept in by Foote. Down low to Suzuki behind the net. Out front, a shot off the right arm of Poirier and out of play. With 25 seconds left on the 4-on-4 and 6:12 to go in the third period. Timeout on the ice. We'll be right back. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Step into style and comfort at the newly renovated Spring Hill Suites by Marriott Austin Cedar Park, where luxury meets laid-back Texas charm. Unwind in oversized suites, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater pool, or savor craft cocktails fireside at the SHS Bar and Firewall Lounge. Wake up to a complimentary gourmet breakfast, stroll our scenic walking trail, and admire local art at our stunning signature mural. Enjoy award-winning hospitality and earn points with Marriott Bonvoy. Book your stay today at Marriott.com.
Ringo's Rascals Kids Club is back for the 2025-26 season, presented by Texas Children's Austin. Be one of the coolest kids in town, and you'll receive exclusive premium giveaway items, invitations to members-only events, and special ticket offers to Texas Stars home games. Plus, enjoy discounts on seat visits, Ringo appearances, merchandise, and more. To join the fun, sign up today at texasstars.com/Ringo.
Stars lead the Wolves 1-0. Game 1 of the Central Division semifinals. 3 seed and the 2 seed. Last year, the Stars were the 2 seed. Played Grand Rapids in the opening round, or the division semifinal round. This year, the Stars are the lower seed. Chicago gets the extra home game if needed. The Stars hoping to start things off on the right foot here in game 1. The only goal coming early in the third on the power play from Artem Schlein at 1:53 from Semenoff and Hughes. Teams are 4-on-4 for another 25 seconds with Hannes in the Stars penalty box and Unger Sorum in the Chicago sin bin. 6:12 to go in the third period. Here on FloHockey, the only game on the AHL's slate tonight. 2 games tomorrow in the Calder Cup playoffs, including Laval in their opening game of the playoffs, the 1 seed in the North Division. We have a penalty coming on Chicago off the face-off, and so the Stars will get a power play here. It's a high stick at 13:56 of the third. And it'll be on Bradley Nadeau. So the Stars will begin with a 4-on-3 power play for 17 seconds, and then Hannes and Unger Sorum will step out of the penalty boxes, and it becomes a 5-on-4. Stars will have Semenoff, Hughes, Schlein, and Taylor for this 4-on-3. The Wolves will go with Philp, Fensori, and Foote to the right of Primo. A big opportunity for breathing room if you're Texas. Schlein will take the face-off against Philp. Philp's been excellent on the dot tonight. Blocker side draw. We'll see if Schlein can win this one to get possession. Tie up. He gets help from Hughes. The Stars do win it, but Semenoff's pass was out of the reach of Taylor, and it comes back down. Poirier will play it to Trey Taylor. 10 seconds left on the 4-on-3. Taylor can't get ahead of steam up ice, so this will basically make it a 5-on-4 in a moment. Semenoff into the Chicago zone. Stops on the right wing wall. Flips it up to Hughes. High slot. Looks in. Left circle. Schlein to the net. Tipped. And that goes wide into the corner as Taylor had it go off the heel of his stick. Schlein kept it in. Across the slot. Taylor down low to Hughes. Out of the box came Unger Sorum and Hannes. It's now a 5-on-4 power play. Semenoff to Taylor. Fires. And that one hops wide behind Hughes. And it ricochets up the boards and out. And Philp will dump it into the Texas end. 1:15 left on the penalty time to Bradley Nadeau. 5:15 to go in the third period. Stars lead 1-0. Taylor drops it back to Tristan Bertucci. Texas will swap out some personnel. Hannes comes onto the ice with McKenzie, Strangis, Lind, and Bertucci on the second unit. Here's Lind. Right wing Hannes stops, finds Bertucci, an open lane to the slot. Left circle, McKenzie saved. Rebound hopped over the stick of Lind. And it's lifted all the way down. McKenzie will catch up to the puck close behind Brindamore. 35 seconds left on the Stars power play. Just over 4.5 to go in the third. Bertucci carries it out. The former second-round pick reverses it to Lind. Across to Strangis, poke check by Brindamore at the Chicago blue line, and Slavin will chase after it, putting the pressure on Bertucci deep in the Star zone. 15 seconds before Nadeau returns. McKenzie back to Bertucci, and Bertucci will set up Lind, who will carry it through center. One last rush. 5 seconds left on the power play. Lind goes wide down into the Chicago corner, wraps it around the net. Here's Luke Chris at the right point. Out comes Nadeau. Kolyachanik with the puck. Toward the net, past the reach of Scott. Back up to the blue line and hop past Kolyachanik. He'll have to avoid Nadeau. Into the Texas zone. Vladislav Kolyachanik across to Chris. 3:48 left in the third. We're back to 5-on-5 again. Stars up 1-0 here in game 1. Wolves will sail this through the air as it falls to the ice by the Texas logo. Kolyachanik had it in his feet. Delayed offside on Chicago, so the Stars can escape cleanly, and they find Becker through the middle of the ice. Dangles, fires, glove save. Primo. Clock stops with 3:29 remaining. Final TV timeout. 1-0 Texas. Late in regulation here in game 1 in Cedar Park. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
When you're at HEB Center, 5-Star Event Services is there to secure and protect. Since 2000, we've provided security guards and event staff personnel for more than 40,000 sports entertainment events in Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Our security guards and event staff are trained and state licensed, while encouraging a safe, friendly, and professional atmosphere for our guests, athletes, entertainers, and all. Our license number is B09954. For more information about 5-Star, visit 5starstaff.com. That's with the number 5.
Texas Stars fans, when hail and high winds hit Austin, who should you call? Malachi Roofing. For 2 decades, they've repaired, replaced, and protected roofs across Central Texas. Professional inspections, transparent service, and quality work you can count on. Visit MalachiRoofing.com today. Malachi Roofing, your roof, our responsibility.
One 0 Texas leads Chicago here in the Central Division semifinals. Best of 5 series beginning tonight, continuing Thursday night in Game 2. Same spot right here in Central Texas, 7 p.m. Tickets available at TexasStars.com or the HEB Center Ticketmaster box office in person. Chicago Wolves come out of the TV timeout. They'll have the face-off in their own zone. They've had 16 shots on net so far tonight. Stars have been really good defensively in this game. And it's not much of a coincidence that tonight marked the return of Vladislav Kolyachonok to the lineup for the first time since March 31st after missing the last 8 games of the regular season. Just part of the recipe for success, certainly. There are a lot of players that have helped that, and then Remy Poirier stopped 16 shots. Caden Primo has stopped 25 of 26 at the other end. The only goal coming on a Texas power play early in the third from Artem Schlain. Face-off won by Cross Hannes, led to the point by Lind. Carroll will drop it in around the Chicago net. Here's Slavin finding Cal Foot in the corner. Broken up, taken away by Hannes. Threw it off the side of the net as he was falling down. Now Becker will help on the forecheck, keeping it deep in the Chicago zone. Hannes wrapped it around the boards, but it chases Kolyachonok out. He'll have to catch up to it at the Stars' blue line. Back up the right wing for Lind. Carried in by Hannes. Behind one defender to the slot. Couldn't get the shot off. Poke checked at the last minute by Foot. Angled out of the zone by Nystrom. Now Kolyachonok. That pass picked off by Slavin. A delayed offside. And Harrison Scott helped Michael Caro take it back for Texas, who just sweeps it out to center. 2:45 to play in the third. Start to keep an eye on Primo here shortly. Unger Sorum lost it to Dylan Ritzkovian. He'll go across the seam. Harrison Scott into the zone. Left wing side down to the corner. Lost his balance, now stays with it, drops it in further behind the net. Bradley Nadeau left it there. Valley Mackey to the far side for Robida. Robida will drop it back to Suzuki. Chicago already getting their personnel out there for this 6-on-5 situation coming up. Pass over to the right wing into the zone. There goes Primo following the rush. The extra attacker comes on. Empty net at the Chicago end. Here's Suzuki behind the Stars net. Suzuki, right circle, down to the goal line. Brindamore, back to Ryan Suzuki. Brindamore in the corner, out front, quick shot, Fandon. Stars will get it to the point, but not out. Valley Mackey holds the zone. Robida, top of the left circle. Justin Robida into the slot, picked off, but then given right back to Valley Mackey. And then it hops past him and out. Valley Mackey has to recover. Schlain puts the pressure on. Schlain stays with him, driving him into the corner, tying him up. The puck goes free. Cameron Hughes chases it down. Hughes reverses it. Back to the near corner. 1.5 minutes to play here in Cedar Park in Game 1. Net empty, 6-on-5 for the Wolves. Stars lead 1-0. They miss on a pass. It was behind Suzuki. It'll be icing. They are allowed to swap out the goaltender for the extra attacker on the icing, and Primo will come back into his crease for now. 1:22 left in the third period. Face-off will be in front of Caden Primo to his left. And Chicago swapped out, I believe it was Nadeau. It may have been Unger Sorum. They swapped him out for Primo to come back in his crease. Becker and Brindamore are the two centers. 1:22 left in the third period here in Game 1. Becker wins the faceoff. Lynn to the point. Kolyachonok fires it wide into the far corner. Pressure continues. Lynn comes away with it out front to Becker, and he has his stick tied up, cutting to the net. Couldn't get a shot off. Brindamore to Valley Mackey. Through the middle comes Suzuki. He'll race out to center. Plays it into the Texas zone, but not very far. Kolyachonok will clear it back out to Lynn. Primo still in his net for now. Robida will inch his way back in. There goes Primo. Dumped in cross corner. Under a minute to play. On the near side's Nadeau. Behind the net, out of the reach of Robida. Here's Pavlichev, the extra attacker. Valley Mackey, center point. Left circle, Nadeau. Backdoor pass broken up by Kolyachonok and swatted out by Hannes. To the center red line, no further. 40 seconds to play. Valley Mackey fans on it at his own blue line. He'll set up Pavlichev. Over by the benches. Hughes hustling after it. Knocks it back into the Wolves zone with a half a minute to play. Here comes Unger Sorum. Off the stick of Schlane. That's kept out by Hughes. Empty net for Artem Schlane. He's going to put it away. And game one will stay in the Lone Star State. It's a 2-goal game in his Calder Cup playoff debut. Artem Schlane with the empty netter. 19 seconds before it's a final. Really good stick work by Texas in the neutral zone during that 5-on-6 situation, protecting their lead. I believe it was Hughes, the last man, who kept it out at the Stars' blue line, poke-checked it into an open space, and Artem Schlane chased it down. The puck drops, and the final 15 seconds will tick off the clock, setting up game 2 on Thursday. But the Texas Stars, in front of their home fans, in the first game of this best-of-5 series, will hold serve, and they'll win it by a 2-0 shutout. Just 16 shots on goal. Remy Poirier stopped them all. It's his 3rd career playoff shutout, and he's the first goalie in Texas Stars history to post 3 or more. He did so in game 1 last year, 364 days ago against Grand Rapids on the road in game 1 of that series, and Poirier does it again tonight, with quite a bit of help from the Texas Stars, who were stingy defensively all night long. They hold the Wolves to 16 shots on goal. The only goal that wasn't an empty netter was a power play goal from Artem Schlane early in the 3rd to break the scoreless deadlock. Schlane added the empty netter, and the Stars win game 1, 2-0. Game 2 is in a couple nights. Thursday here at 7 p.m. in Cedar Park. We'll tee you up for that one right after this in our post-game show. It's the Calder Cup playoffs on FloHockey.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before with AHL TV on FloHockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game live or on demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit FloHockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action.
Velocity Credit Union is proud to sponsor the Texas Stars and the HEB Center. Since 1947, we've been helping Austin and the surrounding communities with smarter financial services. With 6 convenient locations across Austin, including Cedar Park and Round Rock, we're here to deliver more value with free checking, better rates, and lower fees. Velocity is one of Texas's largest and strongest credit unions, dedicating to meeting your needs today and well into the future. Experience exceptional service. Visit us at Velocity Credit Union.
Baylor Scott & White is the official healthcare sponsor of the Texas Stars. Just like on the ice, every goal starts with making the first move. Whether you're lacing up for a new sport or making everyday moves towards better health, you've got what it takes. And when it comes to reaching your goals, big or small, Baylor Scott & White Health is with you all the way. Let's win this.
For the commute around town or road trip across Texas, Volvo cars and SUVs have been thoughtfully crafted to elevate every journey with more comfort, more luxury, and more safety for everyone. Volvo cars are made to protect people and our planet, with all electrified models ranging from mild hybrid to pure electric. Volvo Cars of Austin has the new car to meet your needs and lifestyle. Visit us online at volvoaustin.com.
If you're looking for a spot to snag a coffee, tea, beer, or wine with a friend, come on out to one of Red Horn's 5 locations. Our original coffee roastery, beer, pub, and cafe sits at Palmer Lane and 1431. Our brewing facility with a coffee shop, tap room, and full kitchen is at Scottsdale Drive and 183A. Rinkside Cafe by Red Horn is our shop nestled in the crossover, while our coffee cart serves at the Cedar Park Public Library. And now you can visit our newest Red Horn location on the Georgetown Square. Search Red Horn Brew on your socials and Google for more information.
Hi, I'm Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Sometimes at Andy's, we get to having so much fun that we forget to tell you why Andy's Frozen Custard tastes so good. Andy's Frozen Custard is America's finest frozen dessert. It's made from a recipe that originated in 1942. Andy's Frozen Custard is made fresh each and every hour. And if you insist on adding something to your Andy's Frozen Custard, you can be sure you're adding only the best. I want to make sure that Andy's Frozen Custard is the best frozen dessert your money can buy.